This week on the Steam Machine podcast, Clair Obscur mérite chaque putain de prix qu'il a reçu. Cue the music. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Steam Machine podcast. My name is Dalton, and joining me as always is one half of the Circle Brad.
Hi, I am here. It is I, Willie. How are you doing?
I am well, my good sir. And we are also joined by the one, the only, the handheld master himself, Team Retro Mikolov. Mick, how are you?
I know she listens to the show, so happy birthday, Mama Suter.
Oh yeah, thank you. I don't know if she actually listens, but I will pass that on if she doesn't. But yes.
It's quite sweet. I also send my happy birthdays.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, she turned 25 again today.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Still another 8 years before she gamages.
Oh, yeah, we'll touch on that, man. I had a fucking conniption when I realized that I'm 34. but anyway. Yeah. And then the other voice that you hear joining us is one of my buddies that I've known for a very, very long time. We met in the MMO Final Fantasy XIV, and it's good to finally have him on the show. He does co-host his own podcast, Spectre Approved, with our buddy Adam down from Down Under. I'm sure he hates when I do that. But it is one Fenris. Fenny, how you doing? Welcome
That's
to the show.
me. I'm doing good, and thank you for having me.
Yeah. It is good to have you, man. Jesus Christ, I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, dude, it was a long time ago that you and I met in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, because I started playing 6 or 7 years ago at the very tail end of Stormblood. 8, 9. But yeah, I started playing at the tail end of Stormblood when Shadowbringers was about to release, because my husband was like, "Oh, I think you would like this new expansion. You should start playing." And I was like, "I've never played an MMO before, but sure." So
yeah, I think
damn,
we were both.
That's pretty cool though that he fingered that you like this new expansion. This is when you should join us.
Oh, see, now when you said that, it sounded like you said it. He fingered, and my mind went to a place.
That is probably not what I meant, but it is probably the words that my mouth did. So I apologize.
All right, getting out of Dalton's, not Dalton, yeah, getting out of Willie's dirty head for a minute. What is your favorite expansion?
Shadowbringers.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
I mean, Heaven's Word is, if I had to rank them, it would be Shadowbringers and then Heaven's Word, probably Endwalker, Stormblood, A Realm Reborn, and then whatever this new one is, Dawn Trail.
You want to hear the funny story? That is my exact same tier list.
Oh, yeah?
I rate Dawn Trail below A Realm Reborn, and A Realm Reborn sucked.
Let's see, A Realm Reborn, Dawn Trail isn't bad. I enjoyed A Realm Reborn for what it is, and I think a lot of people hate it because of the fact that you are not the main character, and you're not supposed to be.
No, I don't think you are the main character until Heaven's Word, right?
Well, no, I mean, you're the main character. You are the Warrior of Light. This story revolves around you. But in Dawn Trail, like, you've been killing gods at this point, left, right, and center, and you're on vacation basically, and so you're in Yaktel or Tuliolal or that new area, and you get pushed to the wayside, and there's a new face who a lot of people didn't like for various reasons that I'll not get into, and she is the main character of the expansion, and I don't think a lot of people could really get over that.
So I don't have a problem with the gender identity of the voice actress. I have a problem with the fact that it was just bad voice acting.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, Square Enix had to make her come back and redo the lines.
Brother, I've never heard that because I haven't played it, so I don't know. But let me tell you that, like, bad voice acting and Square Enix sometimes go hand in hand. And I say that as an avid Final Fantasy fan, but, like, have you played Trails of Mana?
No.
No.
Okay, so that game was originally Super Nintendo game, Seiken Densetsu 3.
Yes.
Never
that
came
I
out
knew.
over here. Had a fan translation. Then they released. Okay, there was a character in that game that talks like this because she's a little girl and she gets it so matty watty and bruh.
Raise your hand if you want Dalton to do the rest of the podcast in that voice.
Why you guys just don't even know what you're getting into? Then we talk about some Clair Obscur.
Oh well.
Ooh, we're gonna make him talk.
But dude, it's rough. So I don't typically use her in my party. So I just.
No, it's funny though that like people consider the nadir of Square Enix voicing to be, you know, that one scene from Final Fantasy X, and it's like if you play the game in the context, it is supposed to be bad acting.
Yeah, he's forcing it. That's the whole point of it. But people just take it out of context. Like, ha, ha, ha,
I mean, it's really funny out of context.
It is.
To be fair, it is really funny out of context.
Oh, absolutely.
But like, let's at least be honest and admit that, yes, in the context of the game, yes, he is faking a laugh forcibly and terribly and doing a bad job of it. And it's actually good acting at doing that.
Yeah, he's just trying to make someone else laugh. That's it, you know?
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm one of those weirdos in the MMO space that like my favorite expansions are never anybody else's favorites. So like my favorite Final Fantasy XIV expansion was Stormblood.
I mean, Stormblood wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
It brought in Samurai, and that was my shit.
The problem with Stormblood is it came in right after Heavensward, and Heavensward was just such a banger
really
expansion. It saved the game, essentially.
Having never played Final Fantasy XIV, I know the name Heavensward, so that does speak a lot.
Yeah.
My favorite World of Warcraft expansion was Cataclysm.
Panda.
No, I fucking loved Mist of Pandaria too, but they changed a bunch of shit that ruined my Holy Paladin. So like,
Oh.
Cataclysm, I was doing arenas. I was unkillable in PvP. I loved Cataclysm. A lot of people hated Cataclysm.
I liked Wrath of the Lich King.
Wrath was good too.
But part of the reason I liked Wrath of the Lich King is because it was the first time I was actually able to get a full set of purple gear.
And that shit
Y'all
was...
ever play OSRS? Like, they have, like, an old-ass fork of RuneScape these days that you can play, and it's, like, based on, like, how RuneScape would have been when you were, like, 12.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
That's pretty rad.
It's called OSRS, or Old School RuneScape, and I've played it a little bit, and I actually thought it was really fun. I had a good time with it. Blitz walked me through some of the introduction shit of it, because, again, it's an old game, so, you know, it doesn't onboard you as intelligently as probably Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV do.
That game that I've been dabbling in, that Project Gorgon, is like a weird amalgamation of Old School RuneScape and Shroud of the Avatar, like, put together.
Oh, nice. The Shroud of the Avatar, that was Richard Garriott project?
It was originally, yeah. He doesn't have a part of it anymore, but it was originally him. Because I have this is a fucking novel that gives you the backstory of the MMO.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's kind of fucking nuts.
I thought that was fucking sweet, right? And then I have 2 copies of Shroud of the Avatar, physical copies, cloth map. That's all I got to say.
Oh, yeah,
I need
you've
to
showed
say.
us that
You guys
cloth
know me
map
well
before,
enough.
Yeah, the cloth map, yeah.
I'm all about cloth maps, and I love old, big PC
you
games.
have brought this up big time as being like one of the best feelies you've ever had
the
in
best.
a game.
I love it. Yeah. So I guess we'll start with, Finn, how you doing, man? What you been playing?
World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV. I just recently rolled credits on Strangers of Paradise.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a game that's coming up on the podcast.
Is that the Kill Chaos
Hell
game?
yeah.
Oh, the
So,
Final
yes,
Fantasy
yes.
Strangers of Paradise. I'm here
Yeah.
to kill
Yeah.
chaos game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, at first I didn't get that it was funny on purpose, and I was like, this looks like it sucks. It's Limp Bizkit-ass shit. And then when someone was like, hey, try to understand that they're in on the joke, and I watched, like, the trailer again, I'm like, oh shit, this rules, actually.
Yeah. It was a really good game. I really enjoyed the combat and the battle system and the
What is the
job
combat
system.
and battle system like?
I don't know. I just enjoyed it. I don't really have
That's
anything to compare it to.
What's
Good
the
talk.
combat like? Good.
I believe you. I was just hoping for like a, some kind of something I could sink my teeth into, and you're like, it's good. Fucking play it, idiot.
It's action combat. I wouldn't say it's Souls-like, but it's like every job feels different, and that feels good. And it gave me, because every job has like a skill tree, basically. And then as you make your way down the skill tree, you have two options that you can go, or you can do both, where you can unlock a new job. So like, for instance, Marauder would unlock Warrior and Berserker or something. But the thing is that you have to use multiple classes to unlock a single job. Like, there are some jobs that need 3 fully maxed out skill trees to unlock. I didn't get really all of them, but I got pretty close.
Sounds like this is more in depth than I gave it credit for.
Oh, as someone who enjoyed the job system in Final Fantasy V, it sounds like this is like that, but times a million.
Yeah. You only play as the one character, right? You don't have a party?
You do have a party. You've got, without saying too much, you do have a party of 3. It's you and 2 others. You play as Jack, and you've got 2 other people you can have in your party, as well as others. And yeah, but Minoko isn't in that game, so fuck it. Yeah. It's a fun game, and I played it because it's a Final Fantasy title, and I'm a Final Fantasy nerd, so I had to give it a shot.
That's the same reason
I want to play. Did you ever play Final Fantasy 1? In any of the versions of it? Like, I know there's like the phone version, and there's a lot of like remakes that make it less tedious to get into. It's not really a remake. Yeah, but I mean, have you ever played any of the Final Fantasy 1 remakes before? Oh, yeah. I've got the Pixel remasters. Nice. Yeah. Because like the original game had like a Vancian casting system, whereas the remakes mostly use like a magic point based system, and I think that is a huge difference. Yeah, in the Pixel remaster they did spell slots. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh, did they went back to the original?
Yeah.
Good.
They went back to the original spell slots, and then I think you had spell slots in 2, and then I think you had MP in 3. And I know you had MP in 4.
Sounds right,
yeah.
Game Boy Advance remake of Final Fantasy 1
Game Boy Advance,
was an MP system.
The Game Boy Advance and the iPhone version both used a
I think the PS1 version did as well. Because the Game Boy Advance version was basically the PS1 version, just, it's not as good.
Okay.
I need to play some more of those older games. Like, I consider myself a Final Fantasy nerd as well, but my knowledge really starts at like the PlayStation era of it and on.
If you need to learn anything about Final Fantasy 1, ask Nathan. He is genuinely like a Final Fantasy 1 wizard.
Word. I will keep that in mind. There's one Final Fantasy game that I want to play. I haven't gotten around to it. I don't even think I own it, and I need to get it. But it just seems so silly. And that's World of Final Fantasy.
I don't have that one either.
Yeah.
It's like the Pokemon style Final Fantasy game, but you stack creatures on your head. It's a really strange game, but I just feel like I should play it at some point just because. But I'll catch it on a sale.
Mm.
Well, word up, man. So you've been playing some MMOs and then Strangers in Paradise. I'll say Final Fantasy 16, the main character, is it Clive?
Clive.
Yeah.
Clive.
Voiced by Ben Starr, who did the voice of Verso in this game.
I thought it sounded familiar.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Dude is a tremendous fucking voice actor. And so my first introduction to Ben Starr was he did a guest spot on the PlayStation Access podcast, and they were talking about, I believe, Final Fantasy when it was coming out, Final Fantasy 16. And they all got along so well that they always, well, they say always, they didn't do it last year, but they did this thing called the Christmas Maze, where Rob would suddenly become Robert S. Pearson, and he was like this evil mastermind who they had to defeat in the Christmas Maze. And one year, Robert S. Pearson didn't show up, but Benjamin Starr did. So he comes in all dressed up, and he's the evil bad guy for the Christmas Maze.
Nice.
And he just won me over. He's so fucking charming, and he's a handsome bastard. And he did really well in this, so it made me excited to check out 16 one day because I just know he's a very good voice actor.
Yeah,
I did really enjoy his performances for some.
His first credit in a video game is Arknights, and that's followed by Final Fantasy 16, which is followed by Tekken 8. He also played Clive in that. He was Prometheus in Hades 2.
Oh shit!
Word?
He was. I don't know if anyone's played the first Berserker, but he was Kazan in that.
Oh, so he's the main character in that game too. Wow.
Yeah, he was Verso in Clair Obscur, Dorian and Date Everything.
Interesting.
He was in.
Who is Dorian? Is that the door?
I don't know.
I'm going to
Have you
almost
played Date
promise
Everything?
you
Because it
is.
does make sense.
Yeah.
It would be the door, probably.
He was in Dead Take and Final Fantasy Tactics Evil East Chronicles.
Well, who does he play in that?
Victor Initiative. He was Count Dysadarg Beluz.
He was Dysa. Oh man,
Yeah.
That's a villain.
Quickly, that dungeon or the first Berserker Kazan game
Yeah.
is actually like in the world of Dungeon Fighter.
Oh.
Is that like a game that's really huge overseas and not big over here?
Yeah, there's like an MMO, Dungeon Fighter Online. There's Dungeon Fighter, all kinds of games big over there. Never really hit it off over here. But yeah, that first Berserker Kazan is like a Souls-like in that world.
Oh, that's interesting, actually. You know how I feel about Souls-likes.
Yeah. I have heard that game.
I like some.
Dude, everyone that I have ever heard talk about that game said it is one of the hardest games they've ever played.
Good.
Like, they said they've played some Souls games that seem easy compared to it. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. That's saying something.
I don't know anything
Also,
about
while we're on
those.
the podcast, bring Bloodborne to the PC.
Yes. It's like, I'm
just going to keep
amazed,
saying it till Steamy Magic happens.
fucking amazed that PS4 emulation has come as far as it has because people wanted to play Bloodborne.
I'm pretty sure there's a fork of the PS4 emulator that is optimized just for Bloodborne. I think we talked about that on the
You
show
are
before.
I'll just say, Dane sent it to me, so I have the files for it, I think, unless I got rid of them, but I don't think I did. But yeah. Let's see. Willie, what you been up to? What you been playing?
I'm trying to remember. Last week I was really tired going into the episode. I can't remember if I talked about everything I meant to or not. Did I mention Luanti, which is a game that used to be called Mind Test?
You did. We actually had you and I had a whole conversation about it while Dalton was peeing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Again, sorry. I literally was so tired during that recording that I fell asleep halfway through, and you know how it is. We never remember everything we say. Aside from that, I was playing a lot of Satisfactory, just generally having a good time in games that let you build stuff. I don't think I have anything to bring up this week, honestly. The last couple of days, I've Oh, wait, no, I do have one. I do have one game I want to bring up. Dalton told me about this game when it went free on Epic. It's called Haven Dock, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that game looks cool.
Yeah, so it's like a base builder survival game type thing, but it's not very cruel, and you feel like you're advancing really quick. I ended up playing that game for 6 hours in a row the moment I started playing it. It was that just satisfying.
Nice.
That sounds like the first time I played Schedule 1.
Mm.
I loaded it up. I'm gonna play this an hour before bed, and I played it for 7 hours straight till the sun came up.
Yeah, so what happens in this game is that basically you're stranded on a wreckage or whatever, and you're supposed to build a dock to create a space to live on, essentially, and it ends up becoming this tropical city you make with other survivors coming there, and it ends up being really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it's on my list to check out for sure. Probably be a fun game to do for the show.
I think you'd like it. I really enjoyed it. The only reason I quit after playing for 6 hours was because I was I'm making so much progress that I'm afraid I'm going to beat the game if I keep playing.
And I think you told me that, and I almost agree with this in a way, because you said that this was the first game that I had sent you that made you install Hero Launcher so you could actually check it out. And
that's right, yes. So I had never installed Epic on this computer, and Epic doesn't have a Linux launcher, so I had to install the Heroic Games launcher, which is an open source launcher that logs into your Epic and lets you play Epic games. And that was the first time I ever used Heroic, and I very much enjoyed it.
And it's one of those things where I always grab the free games on Epic. I have countless of them now.
Me too, but I grab them on the web store usually.
I don't always grab them with the intention of like, I'm probably going to play that sometime soon. It's usually just like well, now I have it. If I ever want to play it, it'll be there. And yeah,
but something about Haven Dock just felt like something I wanted to do immediately.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it would scratch the same kind of itch as like Raft would if I had been able to play Raft. I don't run Raft. I want to play that game as well. And so it reminded me of Raft and it made me want to play it. So I did.
Hell yeah. Anything else that you've been up to?
No, I'm just going to go ahead and shout out Haven Dock. It's a really fun game. The building and survival loop is fun. It isn't just a survival game. It ends up being more like building, like Factorio type maybe. So I thought that was neat.
Hell yeah. Oh, Pupper. I must acknowledge
that's a good
Pupper.
dog you got there.
Yeah.
I know, I wasn't trying to, but I was just looking like, oh, that's a good ass dog right there.
I want
I
a
love
dog. I miss my dog.
Gotta get you a puppy, man.
I need a puppy. My wife keeps saying no. I think I'm just gonna have to like bring one home one day.
Ask for forgiveness. It's easier than asking for permission.
Pretty much.
Grab the new Pokemon starter. That looks cute.
You can literally like picture the thing that actually happened to me. That my dad was like, "No, we don't need to get another dog." And then one day, my mom takes me to elementary school. So you work at a school. This could be feasible for you. And we go in the front office. It's the day after Halloween, and there's a box in there. My mom volunteered at the school because she was, a stay-at-home mom at the time. So we go in there. There's a little puppy in there, little black chocolate lab mixed with a pit bull. And
that sounds so sweet.
I was like, "Mom, we got to take this puppy home." And my mom was a dog lover, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know." And then by the end of the day, we took the puppy home, right? So my dad calls and picks up the phone, and my mom goes, "Here, Dalton wants to tell you something." And hands me the phone, and I'm on like first grade, second grade. And I'm like, Dad, we got a puppy. His name is Rex. And my dad tells the story better. He was like, "Oh, that's wonderful. Put your mom back on the phone." And she's like, "Debbie, what the hell?" but yeah. So yeah, it's feasible, man. Just tell your wife, "Oh, yeah, somebody dropped this off at school. I don't know. I couldn't just leave it there. You know, now we have a puppy. Don't ask questions."
Found this guy.
And she can never listen to this episode.
She won't anyways. She got mad at me for
she doesn't. She hates.
She got
me.
mad at me for coming in here to record this episode because it meant she had to put Kyle to bed.
Gotta love it, dog.
She used to listen to the episode, but only in the Ryan days. When I joined, she was like, "It's fucking over."
So, Mick, what you been up to, man? What you been playing?
Mostly the game for the show, just because my game time has been fairly limited. But, in addition to Clair Obscur, I did roll credits on Pokopia. And I'm not gonna spoil anything about that because only thing I'm gonna say it was a nice ending. It was sweet. The game generally, actually, we were talking in the Patreon section about games that are unusually dark. That is pretty dark.
That's actually really interesting. Is both of the games you've been playing lately take place in sort of a post-apocalypse?
Well, that's because I've just been into like base building and survival stuff lately. Like I'm actually looking into getting into Enshrouded because it's a very, very similar the very similar premise to Palworld and to Pokopia, quite frankly. Just probably combat in it.
Isn't like the premise of Pokopia that it takes place in like the first region of Pokemon, but like after the end of the world?
That's
basically?
exactly what happens.
I have Enshrouded installed right now, and let me double check because I think there's multiplayer in it. Though.
There is.
I will absolutely play that with you. That game rules.
There is multiplayer, and I've heard the survival and the base building mechanics are awesome.
Dude, the mining is voxel based, so when you like chuck a hole into a wall, there's a fucking hole in the wall, and it just stays there.
Wow,
it's fantastic.
I do love me some voxels, baby. Let's go.
So yeah, roll credits on Pokopia, and I haven't picked it up since, even though like I have 5 maps to fix. Mostly been playing Clair Obscur. Played a little bit of Starfield because in my MSI Claw A8 video that I'm working on, I know I've been working on that video for like a couple episodes now. I'm testing a bunch of different handhelds because my whole premise for that video was going to be, this thing is too expensive. Here's what some other handhelds do. And I'm going to kind of compare them to some cheaper handhelds. And so I picked 3 games that I was going to test on all of these different handhelds. One of them being Clair Obscur. And unfortunately, like, because I can't put Clair Obscur down, I haven't really tested the other 2 games that much to finish my video, which I need to do. The other one is Starfield. And I actually remodeled my Mantis ship in Starfield, and I really like the way it looks now. So I want to try and get into some space combat after when I get into that game a little bit more. And I know I'm kind of holding off on it a little bit because I think we're about a week out to the new update. So I kind of want to play it a little bit more after the update drops.
The new expansion, I know the free update's cool, but the new expansion looks fucking sweet.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to lie. They look like they're bringing this around a little from where they started.
They're definitely making a lot of improvements. And that's another game where I want to get into the base building and stuff, because I never really got into any of that. I have a base on Starfield, but I never did anything with it. I didn't build a house. Like, I have an apartment that I put a few pieces of furniture in. But yeah, no, I want to get into that a little bit more, because the only time I really seem to have fun in Starfield is when I'm either base building or ship building, which are 2 things I could do in No Man's Sky. So might as well just go play No Man's Sky.
I didn't want to say it, but I was over here thinking you could have just been playing No Man's Sky this whole time.
Fully freaking aware, but I could also play both.
And No Man's Sky is a much smaller install size.
Yeah.
But you know what? The most important thing is that, unlike No Man's Sky, Starfield hates stun days and loves lasagna.
What?
Isn't there like a huge overhaul mod that turns Starfield into Star Wars or something?
Yeah.
I heard about that.
Yeah. That's the only reason my husband wants to get that game.
Was just to play
There's
Star
a mod
Wars.
that, a lot of the, like...
Wasn't there a good Star Wars MMO game, though?
Yeah. The Old Republic.
Play that, dude.
Yeah.
The Old Republic? The Old Republic's cool. It's like World of Warcraft with lightsabers.
Yeah.
But it's cool, especially for Star Wars nerds. But yeah, the mod, from what I remember, at least in that one big city that you always go to, I can't remember the name of it. It changes all of the guards to like stormtroopers.
Okay.
And shit like that.
Coruscant.
Oh, you're talking about the planet that Constellation's on? I forget the name of it now. Jemison?
Yes. Tatooine?
Yeah.
No, not actual Star Wars planet. Not actual Star Wars planets, guys. Yeah, but you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. Jemison. The
Yes, Jemison. Yeah. That one. Yeah, that they change all the guards to like stormtroopers and stuff, and
that's pretty cool.
It's fun.
Yeah, I need to look into that then. The only other game that I've been playing, because I'm testing Clair Obscur, which I would kind of consider mid-range-ish as far as graphics and demands on the handheld. Starfield is more of a higher demand game. And then I wanted to pick a game that was very low powered, that I know would work perfectly fine on all 3, or on all of the handhelds that I'm looking at. And that is Balatro.
Oh, nice. Have you gotten your first White Snake clear yet?
No. Fuck that game.
Damn.
I
guarantee the moment you clear it, you're going to win like 3 of your next 4 games.
Every time I think I'm going to have an amazing run, I always frickin' lose at the anti-boss, at the boss blind. And then I take a screenshot and I put it in our group chat with the word fuck.
Yeah, every
time.
Well, we got to get you building to where you can beat boss blinds too, because sometimes they do some bullshit.
Yeah. A lot of times the boss blind that gets me is the one where your opening hand is face down.
Face down, yep. I know that exact one. That one killed one of my best early runs as well.
And a lot of the times, like, I'll get some great runs going. Like, I'll have, like, myself powered up to the point where, like, I'll have a 2-pair and it'll just one-shot the blind. And I'm like, okay, I just have to keep running 2 pairs, and, yep, then... Yeah, Dalton, how you doing?
Let me ask you this: for spooky season this year, would you be interested in playing a Balatro adjacent horror game?
Fuck yes, I would.
Yeah, I'd do that.
So there's a game called Clover Pit, and it is a
Oh,
roguelite slot machine nightmare. Gamble for your life in a never-ending debt simulator.
the Game Grumps actually have covered this. I really do want to play it, actually.
Yeah, it looks super cool. It's been on my my radar lately.
I got to start looking into spoopy games that
Put that
aren't
in for
really
October,
that
baby.
scary.
It's April, dude. You don't have to think that hard that early.
There's not that many spoopy games.
I was gonna say for
Can
his
I
specific thing.
recommend one Resident Evil Requiem? That game is not scary
How
at
about
all.
no?
If I was gonna throw,
That game doesn't even have a single 12-foot tall vampire mommy
And
in it.
Fenny,
so-
while we're at it, why don't we watch a Serbian film?
I haven't listened to that yet, so I don't know.
you should listen to it.
You should listen to
I
it.
think
I'm working on it. I'd have like 10 other episodes to get through.
I'll say I know he dropped a bunch of them at once too. So,
Yeah.
but fuck, what was I gonna say?
You're about to tell us how much you love a Latvian film.
No, the talking about the spooky seasons with the way that Mikolov needs to find a game that isn't horror but horror. He probably does need some time. Also, if I was gonna throw Resident Evil at them, I think I'm gonna start them with Biohazard, and just
Oh yeah, I would.
I
Like
mean,
to.
keep in mind, I've been part of 2 Spooktobers. My first pick was Dungeon Munchies, and my second pick was Cult of the Lamb.
Well, those were pretty good. I liked those games. They had a lot of heart to
And
them.
even Dungeon Munchies got to a point where it was a little risque.
Yeah, but you're right. Those are quite cozy, relatively speaking.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe this year it'll be Hello Kitty Island Adventure because Kuromi's in it. And Kuromi's basically a Halloween cat.
I'll play it if Big Challenges is in it.
so other than Clair Obscur.
Big Challenges or Gudetama, my favorite Sanrio characters.
Oh my God, Gudetama. Is that the little
Gude-
egg with butt cheeks?
Gudetama is the egg, yes!
Gudetama's
Fuck
in
yeah.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
And so is Pumpurin.
I remember
Oh, hell yeah.
when I was with Megan, I was just hitting my vape, and we were sitting there watching Gudetama, the Netflix thing or whatever it was, and Megan's just like, "This is so cute," and I'm just like, "This is one of the wildest things I've ever seen. This is so."
They had
ridiculous.
they had a Gretzko show, too. It was, like, really cute as well.
Gudetama has
that
to
was
be
the,
a great show to watch while high.
Oh,
It was fantastic. Agaretsu was the little angry cat that went and did karaoke and did like death metal karaoke, right?
Something
yeah,
like
she
that,
was
yeah.
like just like she worked at a regular ass job and like was bummed out by it and really angry about it, but like quietly angry. And yeah, did the death metal karaoke.
Love it. That was a good show too. I haven't seen that in forever. I should rewatch that.
I've watched the first episode of Agretzko and I do kind of want to see it again.
So other than Clair Obscur, which I put in, let me go ahead and just look at that.
33.
47.1 hours into total. I have also been playing some more Retro Rewind.
Oh yeah, good game.
Oh yeah, that looked really fun.
I've expanded my store twice now, so I've got some more room to deal with. I just unlocked action movies, so I now have sci-fi, drama, action, horror, and adult. And I installed a mod that did real movie covers, and then started a new game with that, but I didn't like that mod. It needs some updates, so I just went back to my other game with the regular covers because they're just as entertaining, to be honest with you. I've also been dabbling in Crimson Desert, which is fucking phenomenal and really gives me an itch to play Black Desert as well and go do a season character. But Crimson Desert, man, just really enjoying it. I RKO'd a man on the top of a tower, and it caused the tower to break beneath us. So it was like putting a dude through a giant table. It was fantastic.
I've seen videos
Hell
of people
yeah.
doing that, yeah. It's pretty impressive.
And I mean, I don't mean it's a move that kind of looks like an RKO. I mean, you grab that son of a bitch and diamond cutter them. Like, no joke. It is awesome. And the combat is... I like the combat. There's some people that complain about it. I find it very fluid, but they've done some updates to it as well that might have helped with that. But I'm not very far into that game. I've played it. I've played it for 14 hours, and I've probably explored a 30th of the map so far. The map is absolutely massive. In fact, there was a moment where I sent a screenshot of this really pretty green area I was in, and Willie goes, "That doesn't look like a Crimson Desert at all, those lying fucks," or whatever he said. So I took a Steam recording of the map, and I just zoomed way out from where I was at, which is just like this. I have explored what I thought was a lot of area, and it's like this much on this map. And I zoom out, and then I move the map way to the northeast, and I'm like, Crimson Desert's way over here. And Willie's like, okay, thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, I was a total prick about it. I'm like, that isn't a Crimson Desert at all. That's a blue creek and a green oasis.
And then the only other thing that I've been doing is playing WWE 2K26. I've got my universe mode set up at the moment where I've got a quote-unquote, well, I got Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and then I have a quote-unquote indie promotion, CWC, and then I have AAA, and then I have New Japan, and I have, the luchadors and stuff in AAA. I have my Japanese and my more hard-hitting people in New Japan, and I've got it all set up now where when I'm playing my universe, it's good to go for a while. And
strong style, baby, let's go.
Yeah, shout out to them for the downloadable character limit this year is 200.
Wow.
So on top of the 400 wrestlers I have that are just in the base game, I have 200 extra ones. That it's just, there's people all over the fucking place.
He's just downloaded 190 versions of Yoshihiko.
Yes. Just all that. And then the other, 10 or so are, what's his name? Something Ken the Box.
Oh, Mokujin Ken, yeah.
Mokujin Ken. The only other thing I want to say about 2K26 again is that the ragdoll physics are fantastic. I sent Willie and the good boys some clips.
Yeah, some really impressive collisions, actually.
Yeah, some of the power bombing people onto staircases and their bodies folding over it and shit. They did a really good job.
Yeah, I was actually quite impressed by that.
But I've just been having a blast since that game came out a month ago. I've put in 84.9 hours into it, so I've been doing quite a bit of wrestling while also watching. Shout out to Kim Justice's Wrestling Road, I think is what it's called, but it's Kim Justice's wrestling channel, and she talks a lot about Poresu. So All Japan, New Japan, Noah. She's got a whole series on Yoshiaki Kawada against Mitsuharu Misawa, where they just beat the fuck out of each other for a while. It's great. Misawa knocked out all of his Kawada's front fucking teeth.
Question.
Yeah, I can think of a few things I'd rather have happen to me than getting hit in the face by Mitsuharu Misawa, but not many.
Yeah. And one of the things that I can put up there with wouldn't want is getting chopped in the chest by Kenta Kobashi.
Truth.
Yeah. That's the thing I told you the other day where JBL was talking, and he's talking about Big Show, which if you don't know, Big Show is a 7 foot, 500-pound man at one point. He's a little slimmer now, and JBL goes, "Goddamn, Big Show chopped me in the chest one time. I thought he broke my ankles."
Question.
Yo.
Is there a place on the YouTubes I can go to actually get summaries of Raw and SmackDown leading up to WrestleMania?
Yes. So
I will say too that if you watch the show, they have really, really good video packages. One of the things WWE is best at is summarizing the plots going into matches.
I was going to tell you that, especially for Mania, before every match starts, there will be I will call it a cut scene that will flashback show you everything. But to answer you, yes, there is. So after Raw every Monday, so you could catch it on Tuesday on their YouTube channel, there's the Raw recap with Sam Roberts and Megan Durant, I think is her name. I can send you links to these two. And then every Friday, I watch the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast, but you could obviously just listen to it if you wanted to. And they're just some Brits. Matthew from Botchamania is one of them.
Yeah.
And they cover Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and AEW stuff.
Okay.
So I know you don't watch AEW. I don't watch AEW, but I still listen. That's how I keep up with what's going on with AEW. And if I hear about a cool match, I'll seek it out.
Okay.
That's how I heard about Dustin Rhodes versus Cody Rhodes back in the day. And I was like, oh, shit.
Great fucking match.
Yeah. But Cultaholic's great. They're super entertaining and they're very funny as well. and they've been around a lot. They're OGs. So yeah,
yeah. Matthew has been like making YouTube content about wrestling for humor since basically before YouTube existed. Like I think the first couple of Botchamanias weren't even on YouTube.
No, I think they were on
just like wherever you
some
could
kind of share video.
file.
Yeah, some kind of video share.
Yeah.
Yeah, and YouTube's been around forever, so that's saying something.
Since
like,
2006, I believe, is when YouTube first emerged.
But like, I like Cultaholic enough that I give them $10 a month on Patreon just to support all the shit that they do, because they were having some troubles there for a while. So I upped it to the 10 just to like help them out a little bit, because they're doing better now. Though they're getting like ad sponsorships and stuff now, which is they make hilarious. Their fucking ad for NordVPN is just like Sam and Ross just walking on a bad green screen. And they're like, "Hello, Sam. I was thinking about going to WrestleMania. I also was thinking about going to WrestleMania, Ross, but I can't afford it. Oh no, I just saw how much the tickets were. I can't afford it either. Whatever shall I do?" You know, things like that. Like, they just make it so silly, but it's great. Yeah. So I'll send you links to those. And I'll hook you up, brother, man.
Yeah, cool. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could just go on Netflix and watch them, but I don't know that I have the time to do that.
But again, like, just going into the show completely butt naked without having watched wrestling for 2 years, WrestleMania's recap packages do a great job of catching you back up. Yeah. Like, you will not be missing anything.
Okay. It's good to know. I actually got invited to a friend's house for WrestleMania for at least a Saturday night.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah, I'll be streaming it in the Discord, so feel free to join me. I know Connor will probably be there. I'm sure Willie will probably be there. Dane hopefully will show up.
Man, I'm still thinking of just watching wrestling with, you know, people that I don't even see all that often, because like one time I was invited to go watch a big WWE show with some friends, and that happened to be the "I'm Sorry, I Love You" show.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll never forget.
Dalton knows what I mean. Yeah,
I'll never forget the moment sitting in my shed when I used to have a TV out there, and that was our little smoke room. Me and my buddy Danny, huge wrestling fans, and then Brandy, not a wrestling fan at all, watching Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And Undertaker had a 20-year streak that he didn't lose, and suddenly 21-year streak, and Brock hits the F5. 1, 2, 3. Undertaker loses. Me and Danny are just like aghast, just like, oh my god. And Brandy's like, what? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? He lost. Don't they lose all the time? We're like, Brandy, you just don't understand. Like Jeff right now, sitting there falling asleep. He doesn't understand. He just doesn't understand. That man, I haven't seen him lose my entire life at WrestleMania. My entire life.
Yeah, that's saying
something. And we just watched him lose. Fuck, dude.
Oh, and by the way, fuck you, Jeff. Watch South Park.
I love this show. This is so fun to do every week. I'm happy to have you guys as friends.
You could say that Jeff not watching South Park is just a tragedy. And speaking of tragedies, we played a game called Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And here is your obligatory Wikipedia bullshit. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a 2025 role-playing video game developed by Sandfall Interactive and published by Kepler Interactive. Set in a dark fantasy Belle Époque setting, I think I said that right. The game follows members of the Expedition 33 as they set out to destroy the Paintress, a being causing the yearly gommage, where those at or above an ever-decreasing age are erased from existence. In the game, the player controls a party of characters from the third-person perspective, exploring areas and engaging in combat. Its turn-based mechanics feature real-time aspects, such as quick-time events and timed actions in combat. This project originated in 2019 and was inspired by Japanese RPGs that shaped the developers' youth, such as Final Fantasy and Persona.
Ooh, the Persona influence definitely shows in terms of how stylish shit is.
Yeah.
I can really see it in the menus. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's very specifically what I meant, actually.
Development of this game started in Unreal Engine 4 and then later switched to Unreal Engine 5. And there's one thing I want to see. Yeah, this right here. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 received numerous accolades and topped various publications' lists of best games of 2025. It became the most awarded title in the Game Awards history winning 9 of the record 13 nominations it received at the Game Awards 2025, including Game of the Year. It also received Game of the Year accolades from Golden Joysticks 2025, the 29th Annual DICE Awards, and the 26th Annual Game Developers Choice Awards.
I believe Jennifer English, who played Mael, also won Actor of the Year for that performance.
She's been in other stuff too. Like, I'm pretty sure she was in Final Fantasy 16.
She wasn't in. We actually just did an episode on this in Spectre Approved, and she wasn't in 16, but she was Shadowheart in Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
There's a handful of people in this game that were also in Baldur's Gate 3 as different people. Fun fact, if you guys didn't already know this, Renoir was voiced by Andy Serkis.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Wow.
That was fucking Gollum.
Yeah.
I did not catch that. That's really cool. God, he sounds he's so composed as a character, though. And yeah, when I think of Andy Serkis's acting, I think of, obviously the motion capture, but also as Gollum, just the unhinged energy he brought to it. So such a reposed character like Renoir that's really strange.
Yeah.
I really would never have thought they were the same actor at all. That's crazy.
Now you know how I felt. Oh, go ahead, Finn.
I was just going to say, I mean, not only did Andy Serkis motion cap the Gollum, but he also voice acted it too.
Yeah,
but that's also what I mean is I'm used to thinking of him as that, that role, that very specific,
it's such an iconic
unhinged
role.
Yeah, exactly. And I also think of him in doing other mocap roles as well, but I'm not used to thinking of him as doing this kind of calm, paternal voice that he did as Renoir.
almost stoic in a way.
He's a very good voice actor.
Incredible. I didn't realize he had that range, and I am impressed now.
Yeah. So let's do some first impressions. Willie, let's start with you, man. I like that gray shirt. So,
oh, thank you.
What was your?
So my first impression, actually, I watched Blitz play the first hour of the game, and the thing I kept thinking when I was watching that first hour was the way they talk about the Gamage reminded me a lot of Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, where it was something that was celebrated and considered necessary, but there were a few people, reasonable people, who thought of it as barbaric and didn't think it was worth celebrating. And so when it actually happened, of course, yeah, it wasn't that big of a surprise because I knew it was going to be something horrifying, but I didn't realize how horrifying it was going to be.
Yeah. Is that a book?
But The Lottery by Shirley Jackson, it's a short story. It's pretty well known.
Yeah, I'll have to find that because I've never read that. I'm interested in reading it. So
highly recommend it. I think you would enjoy it, and it is it's ahead of its time.
There's a goddamn, it's a not a creepypasta, but it is a creepypasta story that they covered on Creepcast. Oh man, hold on.
Okay.
What is the name of it? God damn it, it's escaping my head. Creepcast. Come the fuck on. Where is it? They've done too many episodes at this point. Creepcast Part 2. I know it'll come up. Baraska. You ever heard about Baraska?
Sounds familiar.
That doesn't sound familiar.
Just a Mortal Kombat character.
I think that might be what I'm thinking of.
You know that old Baraska?
I love Barack Obama, my favorite president.
Well, so
Not tell us more, Ben.
yeah, Baraska is about like this little mining town, and they always talk about the skinned man, and there's this big like weird thing about it, and people disappear, right? Young girls always disappear.
Oh, I have read this. This sucks.
Yeah.
I do know the story you're talking about now. It was on No Sleep back in the day.
That's what it was. No sleep. r/no sleep. Yeah.
I have read this one actually.
It left turns into a breeding farm, and let's just put it at that.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking rough story to the point that they're reading it, and then like as they're reading it, Wendigoon begins to remember how the story ends, and he's like, "Oh God, oh no!" And his partner, Meat Canyon's like, "What the fuck are you? What, Isaiah? What?" And Wendigoon's like, "No, yeah, you'll see. Oh, I'm so sorry."
It's not good times. It is not fun.
It's not a good. Yeah, it's not. It's not.
So,
it's a good story. It's a good story, but it is a.
It's a good horror. It's a good horror story. It's just not fun.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm going to derail. because you brought up creepypastas, and anytime someone brings up creepypastas, it, reminds me of my favorite one. And it's,
I hope it's the one I think it is.
It's
Let's
called
go.
Next Time You'll Know Better. It's like,
oh, that isn't what I thought it was going to be. Go ahead.
Have you ever walked into a room and found a vampire? No, not the sexy kind, but a foul creature with bony limbs and ashen skin. The kind that snarls as you enter, like a beast about to pounce. The kind that roots you to the spot with its sunken, hypnotic eyes, rendering you unable to flee as you watch the hideous thing uncoil from the shadows. Has your heart started racing though your legs refuse to? Have you felt time slow as the creature crosses the room in the darkness of a blink? Have you shuddered with fear when it places one clawed hand atop your head and another under your chin so it can tilt you, exposing your neck? Have you squirmed as though its rough, dry tongue slides down your cheek, over your jaw to your throat, in a slithering search that's seeking your artery? Have you felt its hot breath release in a hiss against your skin when it probes your pulse, the flow that leads to your brain? Has its tongue rested there, throbbing slightly as if savoring the moment? Have you then experienced a sinking, sucking blackness as you discover that not all vampires feed on blood, some feed on memories? Well, have you? Maybe not. But let me rephrase the question. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgot why you came in?
Oh, shit. I like that. That's great.
That is... Ooh, that's vile. I was sensorily joining that. I was feeling it. That is just so sick. I love that. That is horrible.
Mick went to go check his closet to be sure there's not one in there. Yeah, that's a great story. I'm going to have to keep that one on the back pocket because that's good.
Sheesh. Yeah, that was... You had me spellbound on that, too. I was just hearing the storytelling and just visualizing the sense feeling from it. That was...
I want to,
really something.
I want to read that to the girls at work and then just see their reactions to it.
No, it's fun because
See, I thought you were going to... I thought you were going to do a meme one. I thought you were going to do, man hand hook car door.
No. All the creepypastas I have are creepy. There's...
No, that was genuinely really good and really disturbing.
Yeah, it's I've got several that I've got saved on I almost said Pinstagram, but Pinterest.
Yeah, we put that other shit on the Pinstagram. That's where our Instagram pins people.
So, Willie, once you started playing Claire, how did you feel about it?
I just immediately fucking loved the combat system so much that, the moment I locked into the game, I picked expert mode, even though it does warn you in advance that there are 3 different difficulties. Story mode, if you just want to see what happens. Expedition mode, where you're kind of playing the video game like an RPG. And expert mode, where it basically becomes a Souls-like game, where if you're not parrying 99% of attacks, you get basically fucking dead. And I feel like playing it on that harder difficulty really gave me the ability to engage with the combat in such a fun way, where I couldn't beat a fight unless I learned it, and that felt really cool.
But see, and that's the thing is that, unlike Souls games, there's really nothing to learn. You just have to get good at parrying, which, Maya reminds you of in every single encounter.
She does love yelling, "Parry that!" all the time, even if a move can't be dodged. She'll say that when the enemy is just adding shields to themselves.
Yeah.
I will
and that's
say,
why she's the fucking voice actor of the year.
There is more than one occasion in this game where an enemy, specifically more often than not bosses, would be introduced, and I just got Elden Ring vibes as far as the just spectacle of these bosses showing up and how they would reveal their shit. There's one way later on, and it's an optional fight, so I don't mind telling you guys about it. But I can't. Is it Samson? I think is his name. But he's tucked down, and he's a member of Expedition Zero with Verso, I think.
Oh, anyway, yeah, that was a good one.
The backstory I won't go into, but when you first meet him, Willie, you're doing the Axons now. So
yes,
the Axon that you see with the giant sword through its head, that's the first one they point out. That one got killed way long ago. This guy killed that thing. That's one of his swords, right?
Oh,
and you learn that when you go into this room and you see all of the golden swords around. But the way that he just stands up and then draws his sword and this whole thing happens behind him as he's doing it and everything. It was so Elden Ring, and I was just this fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I got Big Soul's energy out of a few bosses too, like the Dueliste especially.
Oh, yeah,
I thought she was very Souls coded.
Yeah.
Well, before we get too far into it, Fen, what was your first impressions of this?
I fucking hated it.
Yes.
And that's why we didn't do this episode. Bye, everybody.
No,
We're just gonna gaslight Gatekeep Girl boss this one.
so I was originally drawn into this game because it promoted old school RPG combat turn-based. And that's not something you really see anymore nowadays. So, I was immediately drawn into it. Obviously.
But it's not just regular turn-based RPG. It's like a Mario RPG or maybe Legend of Dragoon type of thing,
Yeah, and that's the other thing that really drew me in was that the combat drew heavily upon Legend of Dragoon, which is one of my favorite PS1 games.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. We're doing an episode on that one soon, too. But... So I went in thinking, just do additions and, have the combat and, have fun, turn-based, all that stuff. And that's not really what I got. I wasn't expecting the parries and the counters, and I had a really difficult time timing them. And, the combat just really threw me off until I actually looked up a guide on how to counter and win and all that stuff. And then once I got the hang of it, I started enjoying it a lot more. So that's why I hated it at the very beginning, because I didn't know how to do the combat.
So how many times did you fight the mime?
I actually, the mime in Lumiere, I fought him once. And I won.
First try, or you gave up?
No, I think it was the second try.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's actually really impressive, because I feel like that character was sort of the tutorial for not only parrying timing, but also the break mechanic and Gustav's overcharge mechanic.
Yeah. And like I said, I just tried it.
But I was utterly shocked to find that I looked at the Steam achievement percentages. Fewer people have that than have the last story beat I'm in the game. People have played this game for as far as I've got 42 hours in and didn't fight the mime or didn't beat it.
I didn't fight the mime in the first Lumiere city.
I didn't either.
I didn't even know it existed until I watched Josh Strife Hayes' video. I didn't run into my first mime until I found it out and about with a costume piece on it.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a mime in every single area in this game.
Well, now I got to play it again. Thanks, Ben.
Don't worry. I might New Game Plus it at some point and eat as well.
Yeah.
I fought at least 3 mime fights, because I did the one in Lumiere, I did the female mime, which I can no longer remember where that was, and then I also did the 2 mimes, which were on an overworld.
I want to say this, but without giving away absolutely anything, there is a major reason at the end of this game that I want to replay this at least once.
Oh. See, there is something going on in the story, and I don't, we haven't gotten into spoiler talk for the story at all, so I don't want to go too hard into it, but there is something that I do think I do want to ask you guys about.
I was going to say, I'm interested in your pitch, and then I know at some point you guys will pop headphones off, and me and Finn can actually talk about, the later stuff for a bit, but...
So me and Mikolov are both in the second act. We are at the part where you have to fight the Axons to lower the shield so you can finally approach the Paintress, who is... have we talked about La Petru at all? What she is, the story? I feel like we kind of...
We're still doing first
jumped
impressions.
right in.
We're still doing first impressions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we go on to all that, Mick, when you first loaded it up and you were playing it, what were your first thoughts about it?
I also hated it.
Yes, I knew there would be synergy there.
Yeah.
That's so fucking crazy, because the first time I saw this game, I'm like, oh, I see why everyone loved it so much. Immediately I was spellbound.
Yeah,
by
no, I didn't see it. I went in completely blind. I knew nothing about this game other than the fact that it won a crap ton of awards. And it just...
It won what? Did you say that? 9 out of 13 awards at the
9 out of 13
Spike
nominations.
Game Show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Or it's not called the Spike, but
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Video Game Awards. Which,
It used to be the Spike Video Game Awards back in the Dizzy.
which we all watched together. And so I watched this game get a crap ton of awards. I knew nothing about it other than it was from Paris.
Do you not remember the developers all wearing that really awesome baguette
I do remember
costume?
them wearing the baguette costume. I just didn't know that was actually in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, quickly, I didn't realize that that's what that outfit was called. And when I'm watching the Josh Strife Hayes video, he goes, and I'm not being offensive to French people just because I'm a Britishman. The outfit is called a baguette. He's like, I'm not just calling them a piece of bread.
Yeah.
At the very least, Lune's version is called the baguette outfit.
So, okay, so you went in blind and then hated it. Is it because of the combat? Did you not like the vibe?
I didn't like the vibe at all. Like, it basically starts with a whole bunch of people getting Thanos snapped into rose petals, which, odd choice that they would turn into rose petals, which are supposed to be a symbol of, like, love and beauty, and here it's a symbol of death and losing your loved ones. And it just doesn't get any better. Like, it's just one gut punch to the next. And so I almost fell off this game pretty close to the beginning of it. It's just, there's just, like, I know Final Fantasy VI has its own form of doom and gloom. This one hits very different, especially once you get onto the mainland. And there's a lot of things to see there that are just so depressing.
Question.
Yeah.
About what you just said. Do you think that's because Final Fantasy VI, less real feeling because it's pixels? Or is this, you're watching someone who looks like a really well-rendered actress or actor just because those scenes were mocapped, so they were literally acted. So, like, it's a whole nother level of emotional gut punch.
I would say it's different too, because Final Fantasy VI waits until the end of the first act before it becomes a true bummer.
That's also true. It's the timing of it, but also it's the whole we're gonna kill off people just for the shock value. That trope got stale to me with Game of Thrones. And it's very prevalent here, and it's still just very tropey to me.
See, I didn't feel that way at all. Like, I felt that obviously you know what's going to happen.
Willie, this is just first impressions.
Yes,
my thoughts.
You said this game was just heavy,
Yeah.
and it reminded you of Game of Thrones and being so heavy, using death as a punch.
Right, exactly, and it's just I found it very tropey and stale and just unnecessary to tell a good story. But again, we are just in first impressions right now. Does my opinion change the further we get in? Stay tuned.
And see, I would argue the fact that the gamage that happens at the very beginning of the game sets up for the rest of the game to let you know what you're getting into and what you're up against. I mean, how serious it is.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I think it creates a sense of finality, I feel.
And I think that's part of the problem. Like, you think going into this that the death is not a finality, like, or that they set things up so that, you know, what you expect to happen is not going to happen, but what you expect to happen actually is what happens, and the gamage does kill a crap ton of people and turns them into rose petals, and before that happens, they make you care.
Yeah, because they give you one last day, Gustav, with his love, Sophie. And even if it didn't work out between the two of them, Sophie is clearly a beautiful person and someone who the world deserves to have more of, you know?
And the problem with that is that, like, you don't realize that there's a lot of regret there because Gustav distances himself from Sophie and now he reunites with her. And it's too late.
Yeah.
Like a little bit, and the seriousness of the gamage didn't hit me until a little bit later, and this isn't really all that spoilery because it's just kind of more of a side story than anything else. But there's a story told about a set of parents, a husband and wife, who have a child 3 years before their gamage. And so they only get to raise that child for 3 years before they die. And they have to spend those 3 years figuring out who's going to raise their kid. And let me tell you, from someone who's a parent himself, like, kids don't retain a lot of memories of being 3 years old. So just imagine, not really having a lot of memories of your parents, and your parents spending the rest of their life with their newborn child, realizing that they're probably not going to be remembered. It's
and that's why that character regards himself as an orphan.
Yeah. And that's what I loved about the duality of the opening scene, was the fact that, like, yes, there were some people who just gave up and accepted the gamage for what it was, and there was nothing that anybody could do. And then you had this smaller faction of people who decided to try and fight for a future, even though they know that it might not happen. And that's where we get the expeditions from. And, it's
not only might not happen, but they're considered kind of fools by most people, that they're just a pie-in-the-sky way of trying to fight back against something that is inevitable. Lumiere is a city that has resigned itself to death.
Yeah, and without going too much into the story, these expeditions, it's called Expedition 33 because this is the 66th expedition, technically.
67.
Like 67th, right?
Yeah, 67, yeah. Because the expedition started at 8-9.
Nice.
But, all this started at 99 and then started counting down. And then I think it was like 89, 95 or something when the first expedition started.
And I think it's alluded that some of the early expeditions were not really expeditions to defeat the Paintress, but they were search and rescue expeditions to find their loved ones, survivors on the mainland.
Yeah.
Quickly, I just want to jump in here and give my 2 cents on my first thoughts, because I want to continue this conversation because this is a good conversation. I loaded the game up. It was absolutely fucking gorgeous. Then I started playing through this shit that we're talking about right now, and I was absolutely hooked. That was my first impression. Now, let's talk about these scenes.
So I guess we should explain what the gamage, what the Paintress, and what the number is, because I feel like we haven't really explained that to the listener yet.
I'm about to cover that. So the way that this game is set up is that off in the distance, as you're going down, you can see this lady, and they refer to her as the Paintress. And there's this big golden number behind her that says 34 on it. And every year, the Paintress stands up, she wipes the slate, and she writes a number 1 less. And anyone who is over the age of that number gommages. Now, gommage is French for
It's French
erased.
For erasure.
Yeah, erased. So the scene is Gustave and his love, and they're standing there, and he's holding her, and he's like, I'm here, and she's like, I know you are, and she's crying, and she just like kind of like Mick said, Thanos snap. She just fades into black dust and red rose petals and just floats away into the air.
A real side note, I want to take note of the beauty of her being the very last person to disappear.
Yeah, you actually see everyone else get kind of snapped, as you say, first. She's the last one standing. She disappears in Gustave's arms.
Yeah.
And that is such a beautiful moment, but it's so sad. It's like that In This Moment song, Beautiful Tragedy. It is a beautifully tragic moment. And so they want to go out and they want to destroy the Paintress, thereby that's where basically the game starts, is the next expedition, Expedition 33. Now, I want y'all to think about something too. When the gommages started happening, it was happening to like 99, 98, 97. So it started happening to like that, right? Then it starts getting down into the 60s. Then it starts getting into the 50s. Suddenly,
Yeah, I think it's not until the 50s where you get an annual expedition, I think, from the records.
Yeah.
well, my point being, eventually the oldest people in town are 33.
Yeah.
That means the oldest life experience that can be taught down to the next generation is someone who is only 33. Eventually it would get down to say, let's say 15. What the fuck is a 15-year-old going to teach, these kids growing up to then them go mage, and then the 14-year-olds are the oldest ones?
Well, I think that it is understood by most of the people there that they're sort of in the last generation, that even if they have children, those children will not have children.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just a fucking wild thought, man. Like, I was thinking, I'm like, if the Gomage happened, I would disappear because I'm 34.
Yeah.
All of us here would disappear.
I would have disappeared.
But there's a chance that we would have never met.
I would have never. I would have never been on this podcast.
Like,
yeah, we would be on Expedition 38 at best.
Yeah, and it's like, damn, man, that's wild. That's wild to me. So, anyways, that's where the game starts, and then you're dropped in as Gustav post Gomage, and the paintress has written 33, and she sat back down, and now you must gather the expedition to go and fight her. Now, I made a comparison earlier, and I'm going to make the comparison again. When you get the expedition together, now I want to ask real quick before we do that: Did all of us do all three of the things to get the special stuff from each of the vendors?
Yes.
I believe I did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I got to say, I wore that hairstyle for like 20 minutes and then changed it.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I kept him in the bun for a very long time, actually.
As a matter...
I think the only reason I changed him out of the bun was when I got the swimsuit for him, and I'm like, oh, let me see how I can make the swimsuit look good.
I have yet to change a hairstyle or a costume.
I liked the pure outfit for a while. I rocked the white getup.
I think I'd currently have CL and Mael in the pure.
I don't remember what they were, but I did change Mael's hair to something different, and I also changed Luna's hair, and then I also changed a different character's hair that comes in at the beginning of Act 2.
Yeah. We're being non-spoilery. Okay, yeah.
Okay, yes.
I do have the moment I got the baguette outfit for Lune, I put her in that, and I thought it was really funny because she's like, the moment you have more than two people in the party, she's suddenly like the downer and all that, and I'm like, haha, now have you dressed up as a big French hipster, you dork.
and that's something real quick. Like all the costumes and stuff that you could get, like they were all like funny. There were some like lore specific costumes that you could get, but the majority of them were funny and they were lighthearted. And I feel like the developers put those in to kind of lighten the heaviness of the game.
Yeah, like I have the last character I think you get in a costume you get from doing a parkour challenge on a gestural beach.
Yeah.
The one challenge that goes up for a long time?
Very up, yes.
Fuck that challenge. I got...
That one was not as hard to me as the one that was a straightforward race that was timed, to be honest.
I had like 2 jumps left in that one, and I made a mistake and fell all the way down. And when it reset me at the beginning of the thing, I just turned around and ran out and never went back. I was so pissed.
Have you tried Get Good Scrub?
I did, and I much prefer heroin. Oh man, that's a joke, folks. Let me just go ahead and just throw that out there.
This podcast does not endorse drugs except marijuana and alcohol. Those are great.
But yeah, so that opening scene, you get the expedition together, you get the big speech, and your Gustav's sister is basically saying, some people are going younger than they should, meaning Mael, but they all have their reasons. And you gather up the team, and you kind of like your party members that you gain, you only kind of see them in passing at first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like CL's just on the ship when you're riding out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the only real character interaction you have is with Mael.
Yes.
Yeah, Mael is the only one that you actually talk to, like person to person.
Well, did you guys
characters.
talk to the other expeditioners in Lumiere?
I did. Yeah, I talked to everyone, and a lot of them had high hopes.
You drink with them. Gustav is like, we have a great team. and everybody's very.
Oh yeah, no, dude. If you're asking me how I feel about like Lucian and Alan, for instance, yeah, those did hit hard for me.
Yeah, and then like there's the commander who's Alan, and so Gustav isn't even in charge of the expedition. He's just a scientist.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, but he has created a tool that is like maybe the turning point for the expeditioners.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but laugh to myself, specifically about you, Mick, because I knew that you already thought the Gommage was really sad. And at that point, I had already seen the next thing coming, and I was like, you have no fucking idea.
And then that next
so
thing,
the beach landing is
and
so
then that
fucked.
next thing happened, and then the thing after that happened, and
There's just a wave of sadness.
It took
a tidal wave.
It took a lot
Yeah.
for me to continue on with this game until I finally started to appreciate why those things happened.
So
Yeah.
I think real quick, let's touch on combat more, and then we can roll into we'll do spoiler flags and start talking about story stuff.
I agree.
All right, so I'm
Okay.
gonna let y'all start that because I gotta run real quick. I'll be right back.
So each of the characters has their own mechanic, actually. The first one you play as is Gustav, who has basically an overcharge meter, which if you get 10 points on that overcharge meter, which is basically charged the same way as your other meter by dodging attacks, parrying attacks, or doing an attack. If you get it up to 10 out of 10, you get a superpowered attack called an overcharge attack that can break enemies, which means stun them for a turn, and also does incredible lightning damage.
Then there's Lune, who's basically a mage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lune's abilities are the stains, which every time she uses an elemental spell, she gains a stain that you can spend on a different kind of spell.
And usually that means that when you get a stain, you use a different spell that will consume that stain to have an additional effect.
Or be more powerful,
You could use
that too.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could use an earthquake type spell that will give you an ice stain, and then you can use your ice spell, which will be double damage because you consumed the ice stain.
Yeah. And then at some point you get one of her unlockable spells where you have to have all 4 stains to use for a really big
Big
damage dealing attack. Yeah, big booms. Yeah. I loved playing as Luna because the challenge of, figuring out how exactly to
get the stains
mix
filled.
Mix and match the stains and what to do next was a blast for me.
So
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I feel like Luna was definitely the character that required the most planning to use correctly.
So I started with an ability called Elemental Trick, which every time it's a 4-hit attack, and every time one of those hits crits, you get a stain.
Yeah.
And then I just ramped up her crit either through Pictos, which we haven't talked about yet, or stat increases, which you get on level up. And so I would do that. I would get most of my stains from that. But now I have another ability called Wildfire, which just gives 2 stains right off the bat. So I tend to just pop that twice, especially because it's a field attack. And then from there, I'll go into Mayhem.
And then there's personally, I used her a lot to give burn to enemies because I had Mael basically built to use Swift Stance to go into Virtuos Stance from burn.
Mael is a fencer who switches her stances with every attack. So one attack could put her...
If you're imagining Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, you're 100% on the right page. That is basically what she acts like and how she fights.
And she is a powerhouse. My God, can she do some damage?
She's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I loved her.
Because I had her built for a burn build. Like, she was all set out and fire damage and dots and as quickly as I could get her to Virtuoso for that 200% burst damage. Like, oh man.
Yeah, she is one of my...
Yeah, but even before you had those abilities, just the fact that she could do that per se attack for 2 AP, and it would do 9999 on almost anything.
Yeah. She is one of my favorite characters to play, and I could see her being in my final party just because she is, quite powerful.
Yeah, she deals death, and the only thing is she keeps yelling, "Period!" And I'm like, I don't want a period. I'm going to dodge. I'm not confident.
At least it's like her voice saying that isn't as annoying as
Hey, listen.
It is no Navi. That is for sure.
No Navi. Thank goodness. I can't remember exactly like the names of moves and everything because I've slept since then. But I know that Mael I focused hard on fire. CL was more of my. I believe she had some healing stuff, but I had her also smacking. Was it Earth?
That's really interesting because I feel like for Mael, I just had her do dark type damage because she could do 9999 in 2 turns very easily.
I don't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. I have a fire build for Luna. I know that. Everybody else, I just try to get to do as much damage as I possibly can, and I have some healing spells. One character who we haven't talked about yet.
All I'm saying is for CL,
Yeah.
I just alternate focused foretell and then not Twilight Slash, but the other one that causes like massive fucking damage that spends all the it's a dark type attack that spends all your foretells, and then if you use focus foretell first, you get 5 foretells, so it almost always does 9999.
Damn.
If you guys talked about this while I was taking a leak, I apologize. Have you guys touched on the enemies that have glowing spots and you got to shoot those spots?
No.
Yeah.
We have not actually. We haven't talked about shooting at all.
We've been talking about just the base abilities, but we haven't talked about parrying,
the
dodging,
individual character mechanics.
jumping. We haven't taled about any of that yet.
I sucked at all of that.
Yeah, me too.
I ended up playing this game on super easy baby mode.
Yep, me too.
Because
Same.
the parrying and stuff, specifically the gradient attacks and the gradient parries, I almost never got to use gradient attacks except in the tutorial for gradient attacks because I was so bad at them. Even on easy mode, I was so bad at them. I never got gradient parries off unless I absolutely like had to, and then I literally had to play the fights over and over and over and over and over and over until I finally hit the fucking parry I needed.
Super Mario RPG
That's really funny to me
did
because
not
that's like the
Super Mario RPG did not prepare us for this.
Yeah, I was talking about Mario RPG and Legend of Dragoon earlier, but in those games, those timing-based things are just offensive. In this game, you can completely avoid damage entirely if you're perfect with the timing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go back and play Ryuga Gotoku 7 and be mad when I hit a perfect guard and I still take, like, 85% damage, you know?
Yeah. That game was not forgiving with that shit.
They didn't care. Like, you could do the parry, and it was like, okay, cool. Instead of 900 damage, you get 875.
Yeah. Whereas in this one...
Whereas in this game, it's like, if you parry it, not only do you take 0 damage, but you get a special cool bonus attack that sometimes is stronger than what you can do to the monster.
Yep. Yeah. The little bomb dudes were the first ones that, like, I made sure... at the beginning of every turn to shoot those fuckers to blow them up to go ahead and get that damage in. So
yeah, that was definitely the tutorial monster that taught you that if you're not using the gun, you are not playing the game correctly.
Yeah. I don't know. I know y'all touched on Pictos a little bit. Those are basically like the materia of this game.
Yeah. I mean, you can learn them.
Yeah,
so basically that you don't
yeah,
need
it's
to,
a lot like
you don't need to equip them after a while to get their benefits.
it's like Espers or GFs, kind of, where you have that permanent thing you can learn if you do them really well.
I think by the end game, Pictos are going to be more for stat increases than they are for the actual abilities, because you can use what's called Lumina to upgrade, or not to upgrade, but you could equip learned Pictos that way. And so you end up with the 3 Pictos you have equipped, you get the stat boost and you get the abilities, and then you could go into the Luminas, and you're not going to get the stat boost, but you are going to be able to pick some of the abilities from the learned stuff so that to use. Like, I picked up a Picto called Attack Lifesteal, and the second I learned that, I put that on every single one of my characters. There's another one where if you parry, you gain health. That's another one, every single one of my characters. So yeah, there's a lot of potential to have a lot of different builds. Like, my Lune could be completely different from Willie's Lune. My Mail could be completely different from Fenny's Mail. Like, it just all depends on how we decide we want to run the characters, and they're equally as powerful. And I think that's where some of the diversity comes into the game, because everybody's going to have a different way that they chose to build these characters.
Yeah. And of course, like out there, there's going to be those die-hard people that's like, no, you can only do it this way because this is how you deal the most damage. But like,
yeah, Nefarious is one of those diehards.
Yeah, and it's just like, I mean, I get that, deal more damage, kill quickly, beat the game, but like at the end of the day, it's a fucking game. Like, do what you want, have fun with it.
Yeah, and if I'm having fun parrying and getting counter damage from all that shit, like, fucking let a dude frolic,
Yeah.
Just let me have fun.
Yeah, do this. But you know how elitist gamers be. They be elitist in gaming.
And to be fair, this game is a game that does have a high skill ceiling. I feel like if you play it on expert mode, it isn't quite Dark Souls, but you do need to have like very tight parry timing.
Yes, whereas I feel on the opposite spectrum, on the story mode, it was quite forgiving, but still required you to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like I briefly watched Mikolov playing the game on story difficulty, which is the lowest of the three. The three choices are story, which is, I want to see the tale, expedition, which is I want to play an RPG, and expert, which is basically I want to make this a Souls game. Like, I want it to be very timing oriented.
yeah, so it turns it into Sekiro or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's very parry based.
Now that said, even playing it on story mode, I ran into some of these monsters. They call them Nevrons. That
I remember those. Yeah,
they're chromatics, which is what a freaking what a great adjective. Chromatic, like this. It's.
Oh, I would love to also point out that this game does a fantastic job by using this whole vocabulary based on painting. By the way,
I was literally just about to say that. Yeah.
Fucking go nuts then. I apologize for cutting you off.
Yeah, no, I was literally just about to say, like, chromatic is like a color-based term. And everything looks basically like you're in a painting. There's actually something I noticed, and I'm going to get back to the monster fights in a second. But there's actually something I noticed when I saw one of the dilapidated buildings. I actually went and looked in the window, and kind of gave me a little bit of foreshadowing. Because even though, like, the building was ruined and dilapidated, it didn't matter what window you looked in. The rooms were very well put together still, and it was the same room for each window, and it just made me think of that room was painted, like, and then that building was painted. Which, that I haven't finished the main story, but that gave me a little bit of a twinge, like, made me question what's really happening here, because none of the characters are questioning this. It's not weird to them, but it's damn weird to me. And then getting back to these, and this is a game made in 2025. Like, that was a design choice by the developers to do that.
Yes.
That was not like a graphical limitation type thing. That was a choice.
Well, just a little side note real quick. There are various hints throughout the game, if you know where to look, that tell you what happens at the end.
Mm-hmm. I think that might be like one of them.
I would also like to point out that I misunderstood the title of this game until I looked up the lyrics to one of the songs. Clair Obscur literally means dark light, yes? Yeah. But what I didn't realize is the better translation of it is actually chiaroscuro, which is an Italian term for a painting technique that's about creating light through basically sharp contrast with darkness.
Yep.
So
I was always calling this game in my head Dark Light, but actually the game is called chiaroscuro.
So getting back to the chromatic monsters, it doesn't matter if you're playing on story mode. Those fights are hard.
Yeah.
Believe
but
that.
There was a couple fights I walked into that just
but super rewarding, to the point where playing this game is actually getting me to consider playing Elden Ring.
It is a very different beast.
I think you might enjoy it.
It
I think you might enjoy it, but yeah, it is a different beast.
It is, But the thrill of figuring out how to defeat a hard monster after getting your head pushed into the ground a bunch of times, I did not understand that dopamine until I beat a chromatic that killed me a bunch of times.
And that fascinates me because you're a Monster Hunter player.
Yeah, but Monster Hunter's not hard to me.
You can usually level up and just take stuff on.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
In Monster Hunter, you don't die if you get hit hard twice. Where in Elden Ring and in this game on hard difficulty, you do.
Well,
so.
you can in some of the end fights, you can get 2-shot.
Okay, I believe you. I haven't reached that point. The furthest I've ever been in a Monster Hunter game was playing Iceborne in World.
Yeah, no, there have been parts. What was the game that I don't know that it was World because I didn't get to Iceborne, but probably Monster Hunter Generations when I got to G rank. Like those monsters will absolutely 1 or 2-shot you depending on your armor, even if you have really good armor. Yeah, so I'm not a stranger to the idea, but for some reason a Souls game just had zero appeal to me until now.
That's fair.
Well,
I mean, they have
lucky for you.
the mood is similar too because they're dark and lore based, but the lore is kind of optional too. Like if you want, you can just run through with your sword and go Leroy Jenkins, but if you want, you can really appreciate the sorrow and the tales.
I'll tell you this, Mick. After Willie's next pick, which is our next episode, after that we're playing Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. After the next round of picks, it is the last poll winner, Dark Souls Remastered.
Oh, we are actually playing Dark Souls for the show.
Crap. Okay.
Oh, fuck me. That's going to be fun.
And
I don't know if I've ever actually played Dark Souls 1 before.
That's a very different game from Elden Ring.
Yes, it is also a different beast in a different way.
I was told to play it first because I need to appreciate the fact that I could jump in Elden Ring.
Yeah,
that is very true. Jumping in Elden Ring is fucking cracked.
Dark Souls walks so Elden Ring could jump.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like there's some bosses in Elden Ring that you can just skip mechanics from if you just jump. I found that interesting.
Yeah, whereas...
See, I've never played Dark Souls 1, though. I've only played Dark Souls 2 before, which is kind of considered the black sheep of the games.
Yeah.
But I will say this to anyone who hates on Dark Souls 2, fight me if you don't think Majula is beautiful. If you can't just sit there in Majula and listen to that music, you are dead to me.
Well, it is creeping up on midnight. I know we got some tired boys going, so let's get into spoiler territory. From here on out, we're going to be talking about story stuff, and eventually it will be just me and Fenris talking about the ending, or the ending stuffs. But so that's your fair warning. Story spoilers start now. So when you first roll up to that island after Mick's already nice and sad from the gommage,
yeah,
it doesn't
roll up
end.
on this island, and it is just dark and bleak and foggy.
So there's this dude there, just this old-looking man, and the expedition captain, Alan, who walks up to him and is like, "How have you not gamaged?
Yeah, you're old."
And
like
the man responds
Dude's
by...
like 60 years old.
And he's like, "I don't
At
understand. You have wrinkles. Like, you're old. Like, how did you survive the gommage?" And he goes, "Are you part of an expedition?" And who you later find out is Renoir, slashes his cane, and like this beam of light comes out of it and just goes across this dude's neck. Now, this reminded me of a scene in Queen of the Damned where Lestat cuts a vampire's neck and then kicks his body, and his body falls backwards and his head falls straight down.
Yes.
Because this dude, you see his...
Yeah, the guy's head became a prop. It became physics.
Yeah, it's like you see him get his throat cut, and then it just shows his torso and the people behind him, and his head slowly falls into frame and then out of frame. And then everyone's like, "Fuck! Run! Fall back!"
And then all fucking hell breaks loose.
And then suddenly...
You described this as being similar to like Normandy from fucking...
Saving Private Ryan. Yes, sir.
Saving Private Ryan, yeah.
Like, suddenly it is just Saving Private Ryan and this motherfucker, and everyone around you is dying. It is hardcore.
So all those people that you just had a drink with and that you had conversations with and you started to care about, they're gone.
Yeah.
Everyone's
It's
dead.
just
In fact,
like it's literally
everyone-
just putting. It's literally like putting your money in the bank at South Park,
And
it's gone. What do you mean? No, it's gone. It's all gone.
they're just gone.
They're gone. They're
So-
just gone.
To the point that
Yeah, basically everyone you met up to this point, except I think Loon, CL, and Mael. Everyone else, you see their bodies. They're dead.
No,
Everyone you've ever
there's
talked
one
to is
guy
dead.
who does make it a little bit farther, but when you run into him, he gets impaled.
he gets killed immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. I forgot who that was too. I had the name and now
Well,
I've
see,
forgotten.
and
it, but
that's
yeah,
the
that
thing,
happens
like-
very early on.
I've already forgotten all their names.
Yes,
But yeah, he runs up and you're right in front of a Nevron, and the Nevron impales him, and yeah, then it's just you, and then Gustav considers himself the last survivor of Expedition 33 and decides maybe it's already over, and he almost ends it, and then Lune
he
shows
gets
up.
discovered by Lune. Let me just be. I know this is gonna sound weird coming from me of all people, but like Lune, put some fucking shoes on. Like
Well,
we're
she
just
doesn't
walking
have
around.
to. She floats. She levitates.
Okay, well then that makes it a little better because it's just like visceral guts and shit everywhere, and girl just got no shoes on, and I'm like, come on now, that's nasty.
Can I share something, by the way, about the story of the game that is so stupid, but it tells how dumb I am about this part of the game?
Wow,
Yeah.
So, after all that happens, Gustav is very bloodied. He's visibly very bloodied. And I spent the next several hours in the game thinking the characters were bloodied from that opening. It turns out I just never healed them. If you heal them, the blood goes away.
Yeah, that's true.
I genuinely had thought that the blood was just part of the game.
Also, the dead expeditioners don't decompose. Their bodies.
No, they turn into like this like statue-looking thing, don't they?
So throughout the entire game, you are just surrounded by the dead bodies of past expeditioners, and at the beginning of the game, that's most of them. Like the beginning of the game, you just see like piles and piles of dead bodies. And then the closer you get to the game, you start to see that a little bit less and a little bit less because some expeditions made it further than others.
Yeah.
And you get the journals of the expeditions, their little like radio log of the last moments they had, which I thought was really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yes. One thing I don't believe we touched on, but I don't know if this was an addition after the game came out or if this shipped with this, but you can pause at any time and go into photo mode, and that includes during cutscenes,
Yes.
which I found
Yeah, I did do a little photo mode.
incredible. You know me. Let me go ahead and just see how many screenshots I took.
I think the answer to that is
Yeah,
yes.
this is the reason we can't let him play Ghost of Tsushima, because we'll just die and he'll be in cutscene hell for the rest of the universe.
Yeah, I took 253 screen grabs playing this of different things that I liked. Now, some of those are the same picture with different filters because I really enjoyed the painting filter a lot.
Yeah.
But this game is beautiful, and there were just so many moments that I'm like, I want to capture this. And there were times that I would see that in cutscenes, and the fact that I could pause it and take a fucking well-framed screenshot during a cutscene was the coolest thing ever because it's all in engine.
It's beautiful. And you know what I just realized we never actually said? We didn't give the premise of the game, which is that it takes place like in 1890s Paris after an apocalyptic event happens.
Yeah, it's kind of like split the world apart.
Yeah, the fracture, I believe it's called.
So,
but that explains like the style of the characters. Like Lumiere is, it was once Paris, I believe. Like you even see the tower.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
there's
Yeah,
a lot of the result of the fracture is this just weird distortion of gravity where like the Eiffel Tower is like twisted and like part of it's floating in the air.
Yes.
And you see that a lot. You see a lot of parts of the land just kind of floating and just kind of there. It's very weird considering like the character's sense of gravity didn't change, but it's almost like there's just something pulling and suspending all these ruins and these landmarks just in midair. It's probably the magic of the paintress herself, but it's just fascinating that's what the fracture did. Not only did it separate part of Lumiere from the rest of the town or for the rest of the city, but it also like suspended parts of it in midair.
Yeah.
So as Gustav is thinking that he is the only one left, Lune comes up, basically tells him, "Suck it up, Buttercup. We have to keep moving on."
What?
For those that come after.
It's when one falls, we continue.
That's right. When one falls, we continue.
And you notice anytime you finish a fight, it says "we continue," and that's what you click to move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you continue on, and you eventually find the Gestrels in the above ground underwater place. Was super cool.
The living waters.
Yeah,
I thought that was a really beautiful area.
Beautiful. That's when you're introduced to the Gestrels, who are absolutely hilarious.
They're basically little idiots who are mercantile and combative in nature, and they're wonderful. They're little RPG dudes. Honestly, I don't know how else to say it. They're just little fucking guys that are fun to hang out with. Like, if they had been Tonberries or Moogles or whatever, none of us would have said anything different about them.
Yeah, that's for sure. But they're like little paintbrush hair looking fools, and they're just adorable. And they almost I say paintbrush hair, but it makes me think of Paul from Tekken. You know, like the straight up the Static X look, Wayne Static hair. Yeah. So they end up pointing you in the direction of Mael, who you meet in this weird, like, you just go through a door and you're suddenly like in a mansion, and
she's very strange.
She's in there. And the mansion is like pristine and golden and just looks beautiful. And then there's like this weird dude in there with no face, and he's been helping Mael. So to skip around a little bit, just because I don't think we need to hit every single beat. Another big point in the game that I was waiting for you boys to hit. Now, Mikolov had the reaction to this that I thought he would. He messaged me and was like, "What the fuck?" Willie sent me a screenshot of something like 15 minutes after what happened. And I'm like, what? No reaction to that? And Willie's response was, "I'm still digesting it," or something along those lines. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough, dude. So if you've ever seen Attack on Titan, that's what I said to Fenny. I wrote him and Adam both, and I said, I did not expect this game to go full Attack on Titan. And what I mean by that is you're playing and you have your party of Ciel and Lune, Mael, and Gustav, and you've met SK. And I have to quickly say, when you meet SK and he talks about the terrible menace whose steps shake the earth that he walks on, he is the being of evil, he is the fear that strikes man's heart, his name is Francois.
And then you fight Francois.
Oh no, he's right next door.
Yeah, he's next door.
Oh, he's just my neighbor.
They are two of my favorite characters. SK and Francois. Love them. But
I like that Francois also hits you with the strongest iced attack in the world when you actually do fight him. Which, I don't know, it probably didn't kill you guys, but on the difficulty I played, it did like 3,500 damage.
Damn!
No, I wiped the floor with Francois.
Yeah, no, I beat him the first try because he only attacks one guy at a time, too, so you could just res people and keep on hitting him. So.
That was kind of him. I will give him that. Yeah, so you...
But yeah, so Francois's a turtle. He's just a big fucking turtle guy.
You get to this point in the game where you're at this like cliffside, and everyone else has jumped down because you've gotten the stone for SK for him to be able to swim. So you're now going to cross the ocean. You're going to go try to take out the paintress. And suddenly, left on the cliff is Gustav and Mael, and they have this thing about throwing stones trying to hit the paintress, and it's like a thing that they do together. And Renoir shows up, and Gustav begins to talk to him, and this like golden circle appears around Mael, and Gustav dies. Like, Renoir straight kills Gustav right in front of Mael. And I was just like, holy shit, they went there.
Yep, they killed the main character.
So, you didn't think that was going to happen?
No.
I didn't think Gustav was going to die, no. I knew...
I'm very surprised because I was certain that Gustav was going to die at the end of Act 1. And you want me to tell you how I knew that?
Yeah, sure.
One, when the game opens, it says Act 1 Gustav. So I was expecting, after whatever happens at the end of Act 1, that it would say Act 2, the name of the new character. And that's exactly what it did. Second thing, when I cleared the first gestural beach, I got swimsuit number 1 for Lune and swimsuit for Gustav.
Okay, fair enough.
So between those two things, I thought Gustav is not going to be here for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I never even picked up on that.
I didn't either, but I knew there was another character because I knew the voice actor and I knew I hadn't heard him yet, but also because I found a couple merchants that sold outfits and it just said, discover this expedition.
You don't have this expeditioner. Yeah.
So that's how I knew there was something going on. But I didn't expect Gustav to die. So I was just like, holy shit, they Attack on Titaned it. And they killed the main character. Holy shit.
And
that's when
I was 100,000% sure that Gustav was going to get erased at the end of Act 1.
Yeah, I wasn't, and the reason I didn't think so was because when you're playing as Gustav, I mean, you're writing in a journal, like, you are doing a ton of stuff to develop him as a main character.
He's very main character coded.
Yeah,
sure.
like, the things that you are doing are all the things that you would do with a main character of a story, and they ride that train right until the end of Act 1, and then he's gone, and you have to deal with that.
And if I'm going to be honest, I said I expected Act 2 to begin. Act 2, name of the other main character. I thought it was going to be Act 2 Mael, not Act 2 Verso.
Yeah.
I didn't know Verso was going to be a thing.
Well, when Verso shows up and he looks very similar to Gustav, I'm like, okay, he's going to be joining the party.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was like the one thing that really hit me the hardest with Gustav's death was the fact that, like, throughout Act 1, you get all these little cutscenes between him and Mael, and you start to see this very strong bond that is forming between the two of them. Well, it's a bond that was already
there.
there.
A brother nor a father is something else.
Yeah, because at this point, like, Gustav is 33. Like, the expeditioners that go on the expeditions are at their age cap. Like, this is it for them. This is their last hurrah. Mael,
but not Mael.
She's like 15 years old. She is young.
Yeah, she's 16, I believe.
Yeah.
She didn't have to go. She could have just stayed at home and waited 8 years to die, but that isn't the kind of person she is.
Yeah. But yeah, you get all these cutscenes and these snippets about how an almost pseudo-familial bond that's going on between Gustav and Mael, and then he gets ripped apart in front of her, and that's what really hurt me the most.
Yeah, it was brutal. And then, you're introduced to Verso. He comes in, kind of joins the party. He tells them that, he was originally with Expedition Zero, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Expedition Zero. And he doesn't know why he's still alive, but he is. And he kind of knows what's going on, so he, travels with them. So at that point, he knows more than the expedition does, and he's like, you can't go right to the Paintress. There's a barrier that will insta-gomage you if you go through it. I watched it happen to an expedition, and that's how I know. So he's like, you have to take out her heart. So then you have to find that, and you also have to destroy the axons. Now, this is the point that Willie and Mick are up to. So let's talk about this, and then we can. So we'll cover after that in a minute.
So really quick.
Really
quick. The axons are Plan B. Plan A is to go after the Paintress's heart, and you fail.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did you fail, but you felt so bad, I actually thought Verso was lying about it.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought he had just made up the Paintress's heart thing.
Dude, right, because that's the scene where you go to the house.
Yeah.
And he's like, I knew you'd open the door for her. And then he calls him son, and that's when they all realize, there's like a family thing going on here with Verso and Renoir. And Willie, you sent me the screenshot, and I loved it. And it was Verso being like, can we talk about this later? I'd really like you all to survive this.
Yes. That I actually saw just this morning. just to kind of give context to where I am in the game.
So, you do that, and you fail spectacularly.
Yeah.
And the house disappears.
You are also, in doing this, you're going through the ruins of what they call Old Lumiere, which is basically the part of the city that did not get launched into the sea.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and I guess we should bring up that at this point you have the other badass, amazing character in this game, Monoko.
So Monoko is a gestural, but he has the ability to use the legs of Nevrons and transform into them to use their attacks. He's like the blue mage of the party.
I was
He's
just about to
Very
say
blue
that.
mage.
I was going to call him Gao from Final Fantasy VI.
Oh,
Yeah, that too.
totally gal-coded. Absolutely.
Yes. And Monoko's great. He is funny as fuck. Him and Verso have that like buddy cop energy together, and it's just freaking hilarious. The scene that I keep mentioning to the boys, I'm going to mention it now because I kept mentioning it to remember, is when Verso says, Monoko, will you join us? We're going to Old Lumiere. And he goes, I'm out. And he turns around to leave, and Verso's like, wait. It's going to be a lot of Nevrons.
There'll be a lot of fighting.
There will be a lot of Nevrons. It's going to be a lot of fighting. There will be a lot of fighting. There's lots of fighting. Okay, I'm in. Like, all he has to tell him is that we're going to go fight. Because Monoko's thing is he likes to fight.
He likes to
Because
fight.
he's a gestural. And that's what gestural does.
He likes to fight, and he likes to collect Nevron legs.
Nevron feet.
Nevron feet.
I also absolutely love the scene where Verso is talking to Lune after you first meet Monoko, and he's like, she's not really into it. She's very skeptical, and he's just like, I don't think he cares about human feet. And she makes this face like she hadn't even considered that before.
She's just like, oh god.
And this is also kind of the part of the story where you learn that Verso and Monoko have traveled with other expeditioners in the past. And so they have done this song and dance before. They have traveled and befriended other expeditioners and have watched them die. And then they've just been like, well, they're dead. And I think other expeditions have made it to this point because they met Esquier and they traveled with Esquier, who's basically a big teddy bear. That's what I'm going to call him. He's got some of the best dialogue in the game too.
Esquier is essentially what if God was a bowling ball and also a friend.
Oh, and also kind of dumb, and it's pretty hilarious to watch. One of my favorite conversations.
He's a chocobo.
One of my favorite conversations with Esquier is he's talking to Verso, and he's just like, Esquier is Weeeee, but Esquier is also Woooo. These days he's more Woo than Weeeee, and I've
got it pulled up right here.
Yeah.
Verso's response to him with like, I too often feel wee woo, and he's like, you are
he's
very
like, oh,
wise,
you know
Verso.
me too well. He's like, the wee balances out the woo.
Yeah,
and it's.
I actually did send that one to Dalton when I ran into that.
It's basically a metaphor about how you have to find joy even in sadness to feel whole, but it's just told in such a very goofy way.
And I think that is kind of the central metaphor of the game too. Even the title, Clair Obscur, literally means, the light and the darkness.
So,
and though obviously the main use of it is it becomes that painting metaphor, but even if you just look at it as just the contrast of light and darkness, it's, I think, very important to how the game
it's at this point of the game where you get to spend a lot more time at camp and you get to talk to everybody, and in talking to everybody you develop their relationship levels, and I think there's the potential to romance certain characters, and there's they also unlock abilities by the relationship levels, very, very Persona 5-ish, and that's how you get to know about each of these characters' past.
Yeah.
Question about that, and I'm going to word this carefully because if not, I don't want you guys to know anything. Has CL revealed to either of you why she hates water?
Not yet.
No, she has not.
Okay,
but I
that's all I'm gonna
did
say.
at least get CL to get laid, so I'm happy for her in that regard.
Yeah. I think did we all bang CL? Okay, cool.
I haven't
Yeah.
gotten that
No, I
far
think Fenris said he
in
did.
relationships to actually romance anybody.
It is implied. It's very tasteful. It literally, she's like, "What, have you never seduced anyone before?" And it's like CL and Verso become more than friends.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
not.
Like,
It's not.
It's very.
From what I understand, it's not actually shown, which is
No,
fine.
that's not.
Yeah, it's not like a Baldur's Gate.
It's-
You
section.
just see them
it's not what-
walking off.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not Witcher 3 we're playing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Although I still would absolutely kiss the shit out of Gerald.
We know.
it's not like Baldur's Gate 3 opening the warehouse door and seeing a
The bugbear.
bugbear fucking a troll or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Daddy Halson.
Haven't played that game yet.
Oh, you're a Halson man. I love it. You got to get that bear. I
That
understand.
game's on my list of games to eventually get to. Not for the show, but
It's-
just in general.
It's there's a reason it is my favorite show or my favorite game. But yeah,
Did
no,
you hear that? We're his favorite show.
but
Well,
out of
now
all
I don't know
the-
that I want to play because it sounds more like it's a bunch of cutscenes.
There are a lot of cutscenes, but there is also a lot of gameplay.
Sometimes you get to fuck a bear.
It's very well balanced. You should go listen to Adam and I talk about it on Spectre Approved.
Is it spoilery?
Yeah.
Ooh, what a good plug. Let's fucking go.
But yeah, out of all of the side character backstories, I think CL's was my favorite. I think
I am very interested to know more about CL. Like, not just in a, like, oh, let's smooch because she's cute way, but,
Yeah.
like, I genuinely am curious as to where her hip scar came from, for one
yeah,
thing.
and one they'll go into that. And one thing that I
Oh, I know they will. They definitely foreshadow.
Yeah, and the one thing that I do like about this game that I hold above other games is the fact that, like, you're not locked into one. You can, have conversations with all 3 or 4 of your companions and unlock all of their, like, for lack of a better word, friendship points, and get everyone's backstory. But yeah, I believe
I thought it was very clever, by the way, that SKA is used to be the abilities for Verso.
yeah.
Willie, think of the bar in Like a Dragon, where you can basically talk to everybody at once.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Survive Bar, yeah, I get what you mean.
it's very, very similar to Survive Bar. You get the option to just talk to everybody.
Cool.
Yeah, so I think that I agree, Fen, that she had my favorite backstory as well, and so I'm interested when you guys get to it to let me know. So
I will say I was wrong about something about CL, which is I thought that her scar was going to be a C-section scar. I thought maybe they just really fucked up a C-section pretty badly. But she said she never had kids, so that can't be that.
No.
no, play on, you will find out.
Mm-hmm.
So you eventually you get to this point where after you fail at trying to get her heart, you then, like Mick said, plan B, and that's attacking the Axons, because the Axons have enough chroma for the strange faceless guy who is in your camp. I can't remember his
The
name.
curator.
The curator.
The curator. thank you.
Curator, yeah.
For him to make a weapon that will pierce the veil and allow you to get through and to the paintress.
Now, this is another.
Also, did you guys check? Go ahead.
This is another section where you get foreshadowing that this idea was attempted before, because Verso says at one point that one of the axons was weakened by other expeditions, and so that's the. And he tells you basically, let's go to that one first because that one's weaker and our chances of success are higher. But, they're not, he basically says they're not very high at all.
but they're not zero, as the NCL are
Yeah,
fond
no,
of saying.
they're not zero, but, yeah, basically you're getting a lot of these indications that, Verso and Minoko have just done this before. And
Well, the thing is, it's highly implied that Verso and Minoko are literally immortal. They cannot be killed, and they have died 100 times before. Like, Verso was once swallowed by a massive beast and had to carve his way out.
mm-hmm.
I mean, and I think we're all far enough along that we've seen the scene where Verso becomes a pair of talking legs.
Yes.
Yeah, that was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I forgot about that.
The guy literally cuts himself in half because even though it hurts like hell, it'll make his friends have a good time. And so he does a little puppet show with himself.
And that's basically when Minoko's like, you really do care about these people, don't you? Because I know how bad that hurts. Like, fucking A.
Yep.
So...
And I loved that. I loved Verso just trying to, after the loss of Gustav, trying to just bring the expedition back and tell them, you guys matter as people, not just as an expedition, not just as a force, not just as allies, but, like, I want you guys to be happy.
Yeah.
Like, he genuinely tries to become friends with them, and I think that's really sweet.
So, do you guys have anything you want to say about the accents before I ask you to pop your headphones off for a few minutes?
So, because it's so late, I might use this as an opportunity to just get myself to bed. Do you want me to give a rating?
Yes, please do.
Okay. It's not a final rating. We'll call this rating in progress, just because of where I'm at. This game was going to get a very low rating for me if I had dropped off of it in Act 1, but because I stuck with it, I understand a lot of the plot choices now. And I understand the direction that the game is going in, and it's not trying to cop off of Game of Thrones. It's not trying to be tropey. Everything is happening for a reason, so I think this is really good storytelling with a really good gameplay loop and really good combat. So even without the ending to the story, I am willing to give this 9 Nevrons out of 10 Gestrels.
Nice.
I will take it, my good sir.
And that could change. It can go down. It can go up. Stay tuned in future episodes of TSMP to find out if that happens. Is it going to become a 6 like Starfield? Maybe not, but it could.
Damn it! I was gonna make a Starfield joke and you've busted my ass. No, I can't.
Sorry.
You beat me. You've absolutely beat me to the punch.
Real quick before you pop off, Nick, plug your YouTube channel.
You can find me on YouTube at Team Retrog. I guess the only other thing I have to say is Happy Easter, everybody who celebrates, and looking forward to Willie's pick being something that's not a multi-hour RPG.
So you already know in advance my pick is going to be it's a boomer shooter.
No, you shared it with us, so I already know what it is, but the listeners do not yet.
And by the way, Mick, I snagged it on GOG, so don't worry about it. I'll pop it over.
All right, sounds good. I'll get the audio to you. My apologies for dipping out a little bit early.
It's all good. We're running late anyway, dude. It's all good.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I didn't even realize how long we've been going. It's been 3 hours, and I feel like it's still the beginning of this conversation.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I could wait for you guys to finish, or I could get some sleep. I ain't choosing sleep.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
No, I have a ton of energy. I could still bulldoze this conversation.
I also know that Finn works in the morning, so I'm trying to run through the ending. So
No, you're good. Like I said, I took a nap today, so I'm good for the night.
Alrighty. Well, on that note, we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Buddy, take it easy.
You too.
So at this point, when you go to battle the Axons, Willie, you've killed one of them, correct?
I killed Visages, yes.
Okay, yeah. So that one, that's the dancing one, correct?
No. That's the face one.
Oh, the face. Oh, okay.
Hence the word Visages.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna let you talk about that.
No,
one.
I'm in the arena for the dancing one. I've fought a bunch of things through there. I haven't actually got to the boss fight.
That might have been what it was.
When I stopped playing last time I was done, I was at the thread cutter for the Axon, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to try to fight it or not. So I went to bed on that thought.
That's fair.
All right.
Well, I'll let you talk about the Visages more because I'm gonna once we're done talking about that, then we'll run through the other ones quickly and then move on to the more serious stuff. And I'll ask you to pop your headphones off. But so what did you think of the
Visage? Was a really fun fight. I got kind of overwhelmed the first time I did it because I didn't realize that you could go in the little side corridors and fight off the masks and beat them. So the first couple times I tried to fight it, it had all 3 masks, so it could heal itself and cause exhaust to me. And exhaust was the real problem because that meant I couldn't do damage to it and get rid of its shields faster than it could re-shield itself, essentially. But once I fought the 3 face masks, it was easy. I killed it the first try after that.
Yeah, I remember going in there and starting the fight and just getting hit with the exhaustion, and it kept healing itself, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So I reloaded, like I left the fight and reloaded and started to explore a little more, and that's when I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I unluckily went down the wrong corridor the first time and just went straight to the boss fight, to the peak, instead of fighting the masks. But yeah, if you fight the masks, the fight's fucking cake, honestly.
Yeah, see, I didn't have that problem because I was faced with, well, I forget what it is you're faced with, but you've got the 3 corridors and they're all lit up. And then you have, I guess, I don't, like I said, I don't remember how it was set up, but like I ended up beating all the masks before I beat the boss guy, so I didn't experience any of the difficulties that you guys did.
Yeah, I highly recommend doing the fight the way you did it instead of fighting it with the masks intact.
Yeah, wasn't my smartest decision either.
Especially because, like, the thing that sucked is, like, I would get down to my last character, which was usually Mael, because she was somehow the strongest survivor I had. And then it would be like, fucking, it heals 7 shields for itself, and then I can shoot it 4 times, and I hit it, and then it heals 7 more shields. And I'm like, okay, I guess I just can't fucking hurt this guy.
Yeah. Well, see, and I like to give credit to my background as an RPG gamer, because I was faced with this new area and new places to explore, and I was like, okay, well, I think this is where I have to go, but there are 3 more options. So I'm going to go down these 3 other options before I do anything else.
Clearly, you're the clever one. You're the one that actually recognized that those 3 were the side quests, not the main one. Whereas my dumbass was like, I'm going to fight the boss.
So yeah, the next one, after you defeat that one, you're like, okay, now we gotta. Now,
yeah, you go to Skren.
I will say too, at this point, you're able to swim with Eskia, so it opens up a few new areas for you to explore, and I do recommend that you do that. Explore the world map as much as you can. 100%.
Yeah.
So you go over and you fight the second Axon, which Selen, which you've seen. So you've seen her at least, right? They've shown her since you've gotten in there. Okay. So I didn't want to like spoil anything, but she's like a dancer, and there's like this dancing thing, and there's this beautiful music playing, which I don't know if we've mentioned yet, but
the music, I loved the music in the fight for when you fought the chromatic ballet. That one absolutely killed me. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
The music in general in this game is incredible. And Willie, or Fen, I think you may know this. I think y'all might have talked about this on your episode, but Willie, do you know how they found the composer for this game?
No idea.
SoundCloud.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah. It was just some dude, and they like heard his stuff on SoundCloud, and they were like, yo, this guy's really good. I wonder if he'll do our video game. And he was like, yeah, sure. And
he just strolled into the studio like,
fucking 8.5 hours of music later.
Yeah, 8.5 hours of music later.
That is how long the soundtrack of this game is. 8.5 hours.
That's amazing. And I love that it's also mixed in language. There are songs in the game in French and in English both, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Having said that, though, it is 8.5 hours of like a bunch of renditions of the same songs. Like, you know how some games will have like one song that they redid a few times.
Yeah, a motif.
Motifs. Yeah. So like
Persona 5 did it with Beneath the Mask. There's 3 different versions of it in the game, depending on the time and place that you're hearing it.
Honestly, like, Super Mario World has, like, one melody that the entire game soundtrack is based on. Like, if you go back and play Super Mario World, every song in it is just a remix of one melody, and it's kind of amazing.
Huh.
And 14 does it, too. Soken does a lot of different motifs with a lot of his stuff. Like, there's a lot of things, like, he'll have one song for the expansion, and then he'll kind of work that one song into almost every single piece of music that he does for that expansion. He really
That's sick as hell.
yeah. If you have any love for music, go look up the 14 stuff by Masayoshi Soken, because he is a god and he will forever.
I'll have to check that out. If you're telling me that a guy took the mantle of composer of Final Fantasy and you're naming this guy instead of Nobuo Uematsu,
Uematsu is another one whose name I will forever remember. But it's just like, I've spent so much time listening to Soken's music, and when people...
But the fact that you're calling them equals is what I'm saying,
Yeah.
is that this is a crazy level of crowning a man.
Like, I'll send you a video of a piece that he did for the Nier raids, and oh god, because I know that there are people in this podcast that love the Nier games. So like, yeah. So and Dalton, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But this song that I'm gonna send you is just, it's gorgeous, and it's probably my favorite song that I've ever heard from him.
Awesome. I'll keep that in there and listen to it soon when we're done recording, because that sounds really cool.
So once you defeat...
Yeah, I guess we need to get to the spoilers, get to the part where I'm gone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to have you pop your headphones off, and I'll give you like a...
I'm assuming that once we defeat the second Axon, that we go back to the Curator, that we can breach the wall, and we finally meet and fight the Paintress.
Yes, you would be correct in that.
And I'm hoping that that's, a big climactic battle, but just because it's the climax doesn't mean it's the end of the game, because we still really don't know about Renoir.
Let me put it to you this way. This was the conversation I had with Adam that was completely spoiler-free. All right, man, I'm about to fight the Paintress. Word, the roller coaster hasn't even begun yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, for real? He goes, just wait. And then about 45 minutes later, my message to him was, holy fucking shit. And he went, yep. And
well, as I see it, I'm probably less than 3 hours of gameplay time away from fighting the Paintress and finding out what happens when an expedition succeeds.
yes.
Yeah, because I mean, you've got maybe 6 or 7 hours left in the game, maybe, because where you're at, I'm looking at a very condensed summary of the story, because you're gonna do the next Axon, and then create the weapon, and then destroy the barrier, monolith, final confrontations, and then other stuff.
Well, at this point, I almost feel like I have over 40 hours in the game, so I don't feel bad about my level of playing the game for the podcast. But I should get the headphones off, because I feel like I want to see the story told as it's told in the game.
I would executive order you to take your headphones off, please, sir.
Yeah.
If you were like, no, I'll listen, I'd be like, no. You need to play this.
Yeah, because
No, because I still need to learn what the loop is, because there is a loop. I understand there's a loop. I understand that they recognize CL and Mael, and that means that something else is happening here.
So, before you pop your headphones off, you told me that you had a theory, and I want to know what that theory is.
That was the theory.
Oh, okay.
I think that maybe it's not 100 years and then the end of the world. Maybe this is not the first time this has happened. Maybe this is a century-based loop.
Okay.
That's an interesting theory.
So that is kind of my thought, that maybe this is not the first time. This is not the second time it's been the year 1890.
Okay. Then yeah. Go ahead, pop your headphones off. And do you want me to message you or just give you a thumbs up?
Ding dong me on the Discord, because I might alt tab out.
Okay, I can do that. All right. So, how when you go into the battle with the Paintress, it's the big, beefy goings on, and it's a big epic battle. You defeat her.
See, and at this point, I thought this was the end of the game.
So did I.
Yeah.
So did I.
Because this was the entire campaign, the entire reason that the expeditions existed was to defeat the Paintress.
Yeah. And so you kill her, and you have this moment where Mael sends her off and gomages her, and Verso's beat up about it, because at this point you have kind of figured out that the Paintress is his mother.
Yeah.
And so they have the Expedition 33 flag, and she asked Mael to plant it, and she plants it down. And here's something I didn't realize until I watched the Josh Strife Hayes video. When she plants the flag down, the noise it makes, boom, is the same noise that Renoir's cane makes when he slams it down on the ground. It's the same noise. So she plants that flag, and you guys go back to Lumiere, and everybody's celebrating. Well, in that moment, I believe it's when you're at the house and time freezes. The masked girl gives Verso a letter, and as everyone's like saying hello to everyone they love, and they're like, yeah, we made it back, and Mael's having to go to the orphans and Gustav's sister and give them the journal and be like, sorry, he didn't make it.
That was a gut-wrenching moment.
It's fucking horror, dude. When that kid's just holding the journal and he just drops it and runs away. Yeah, it's very, very sad. And all this it's just showing all this going on. And then the camera goes over to Verso, and he sits down at the end of the pier, and he pulls out this letter, and you begin to hear a voice. It's like, Verso, my brother. How exactly did she word it? Basically, to summarize it, and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, Finn, the Paintress was actually trying to protect everyone from the true evil, which is the Curator, the Renoir.
Yeah,
and
so basically, from what I remember of it, after you defeat the Paintress, you have to defeat Renoir before you defeat the Paintress. And do you remember that Renoir fight? Had a really sick soundtrack.
Oh, no, I don't. I'm going to have to go back and listen to it again.
Okay. But yeah, you defeat Renoir, and then you defeat the Paintress, and then the expedition returns to Lumiere as heroes. And then the truth is revealed that is only known to Verso. And like I said, I'm reading a very condensed, like super condensed summary of this.
Yeah.
But the Curator caused the Gamage. The Paintress was actually holding him back. And with her gone, the Curator wipes out all of Lumiere, and only Verso survives.
Yeah, it literally. So as he's reading this, and she says, she was protecting you from the Gamage. He wants to erase everything. You hear the boo, and just this wave whoosh over everybody in Lumiere, and suddenly, one by one, everyone Gamages.
Yeah.
Fucking CL, Lune, fucking Mael, the little orphan boys that were Gustav's apprentices, his sister, everybody.
All the survivors.
And at that point, I'm sitting here with my head in my hands, just like mouth agape, eyes wide, like, what the
fuck just happened?
Exactly. What the fuck just happened? And it just black screen.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it shows Mael in real life. And I don't remember her name, because as soon as she told me she preferred Mael in the game, my brain... Alicia, yeah. It shows Alicia.
She's the youngest daughter of the Cendre family in early 20th century Paris. The family are artists who create worlds inside of magical paintings. And Lumiere exists inside a canvas created by Verso.
And one of the things is when Alicia wakes up and she sits up in her bed, you can see out the window the Eiffel Tower, and it's normal.
Yep.
And you're like, oh shit.
Yep.
And they are the painters, and they are apparently in a war with a group called the Riders.
Yeah, the Riders. And this is where the story gets interesting, because it's the origin of everything. It's where you learn how this entire storyline came to be. And the Riders burned the mansion, and Alicia is disfigured because she is like trapped inside. But Verso dies, like in real life, like to save her.
Yeah.
And so Aline, their mother, she enters the canvas and recreates her family and becomes the Paintress. And here's where you learn that their magic stuff, where it's being in the canvas, it's actually harmful to them. And Renoir tries to pull her out, and it causes the fracture. their older sister, Clea, intervenes and creates the Nevrons, and she sends Alicia into the canvas. And then once Alicia figures all that out, she's overwhelmed and she reincarnates as Mael with her memory wiped.
And then it flashes forward, because that's what you've played so far, is all of Mael's experience was that.
Yeah, all of Mael's experiences as her post-incarnation, I guess you could call it, as Alicia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then the screen lights up and it's after her death, and Mael regains her memories as Alicia. She revives herself, reunites with Verso, and then Verso admits that he manipulated the expedition, and his goal was to force Aline out of the canvas. So he also had ulterior motives concerning his family.
Yeah, and the fact that he's just a painting, but he has a bit of Verso's soul in him.
Yeah.
Because he has Verso's memories. He recognized Mael as looking like Alicia. Like, he knew all that, but he doesn't actually exist. It's fucking wild.
Well, see, and the thing is that when Renoir shows up, he usually has this little girl with her with a white mask over her face, and that is Alicia. So,
and if you notice, it starts to put into context when you realize that the mother has painted all of these, because you get Verso just how she remembers him. The painted version of Clea, you can actually meet her later on and fight her, and the real Clea went in and painted over her because she hated a painted version of her, which is wild. Renoir was painted as a fiercely loyal husband who would do anything for his wife to protect her.
Yep.
And she painted Alicia disfigured with no voice and in black and white.
Well, she was disfigured with no voice because of the fire. Because of the fire, yeah, the smoke inhalation.
No, I understand that, but the painted version of her was still that way. She could have, painted her normal with a voice, but she chose to paint her like that. So, I thought that was absolutely wild when I started putting those pieces together. And then the whole contrast of she paints in life, he paints in death. And then you start looking at all of the things that have to do with Renoir had a lot of reds. A lot of things with the painters had a lot of white and golds. And that gives you the contrast of those trees in the beginning with the white and red leaves. And everything starts to piece together. And you're just like, holy shit, they thought deep about everything in this game.
Absolutely.
So continue on with the summary, because that'll cover it better than my memory will. But
yeah. So you go into the final conflict, and Mael, Alicia, she confronts the curator, who you find out is actually Renoir. Yes. She asks him to restore everyone, and he refuses and rejects her identity as Mael and decides to erase the canvas entirely. And Mael revives the expeditioners and fights Renoir for control. This is a really sick fight because
what a cool fucking fight, dude.
Yeah. So cool.
How they when you're having to approach the fight, these Nevrons will drop down in front of you, but Mael's expeditioners will just come in like savages and wreck them, and it's like you're just running through an action movie scene, and it's bad.
Oh yeah, and by expeditioners, I don't mean the party that you've been running with. I mean every single expeditioner that has ever lived. Like
she resurrects them all. It's such a cool. It's like
She basically
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, she basically is Alicia, and she has her paintress powers. So she like recreates all the expeditioners.
Summons
just
the army of the dead to go fuck some shit up.
Yeah, and then so Aline re-enters the canvas, and Renoir is defeated and leaves with her. And then you're left with a choice because
oh man,
yeah, this was a very difficult choice because you can either side with Mael, who wants to preserve the canvas and live in the fantasy world, or you can side with Verso, who wants to destroy it and accept reality and death. So which option did you choose?
Well, I want to say what made it even harder is because you get to that final scene and you see that boy painting. It's the soul of boy Verso, who's been painting forever, and he just wants to stop painting. He's tired of it. And Verso has this whole conversation. And that's when you go in and have to do the whole thing with Mael. So who did I choose? Yeah. I don't think I made the right decision, but I chose Mael. And here's why. Am I perpetuating the cycle? Yes. Yes, I am. But over the course of the game, I learned enough about Mael and how she feels about how it is outside of, like, being burned, not being able to talk, just being in a shell of a body with a family that, like, with a mother who scorns you and all that. Like, she's got peace here. And I started to think about how if I was in a situation where I couldn't speak and I was burned heavily and maybe was like in some sort of, not altered state, but you understand what I'm saying, a disabilitated state that prevented me from enjoying life to the fullest. And then I had an opportunity to go into this simulation and really enjoy it, even though it slowly kills me. It's like, okay, well, I can slowly die out here and be miserable. That's the
thing, is that it's not real. And you would go into that knowing that it's not real.
Yeah, but you still may be able to enjoy it more than life on the outside. I don't know.
And having said that, that is the option that I chose too, because my line of reasoning was, almost the same as yours. So if you side with Mael, the canvas survives, Lumiere is rebuilt, everyone is revived, including Gustav and Sophie. However, Mael recreates Verso against his will, and her health deteriorates from the unsustainable existence. And, like, it's a beautiful thing because everyone's there together, like, it's all happy. And then you see Verso just walk out on the stage and start playing a piano, and you can tell that he does not agree with this, but he can't do anything about it.
And then you get hit with the only jump scare in the game.
What's that?
That flash to Mael's face where she's got the paint on her eyes, and it's just a really quick, like, brrr of music, and it shows her. Scared the shit out of me, dude.
Oh.
Jump scared the shit out of me. It did.
But if you side with Verso, Mael is banished. He convinces his original soul to stop maintaining the canvas, and as a result, it's erased. The Expeditioners and Verso cease to exist, and back in reality, the Descendra family reconcile and accept Verso's death. And they like hold a funeral for him and everything. Like, it is optionally the better choice of the two.
Yeah. Like I said, when I saw the ending and I saw Verso, and then I saw how the paint was affecting Mael, I was like, I made the wrong choice. Yeah. But I felt so strongly for Mael by the end of it that I just wanted her to have a happy ending. And I felt like that I understand when you told me it's a happy ? Ending.
Yeah.
So.
And that's really all there is to it. And that is the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me ding Willie real quick. I don't know if he's looking. I don't think he's got Discord open. There he goes. Yeah. Welcome back, buddy.
Hey, I realized only after we had talked about it that you sending me a message on Discord wouldn't have done anything because I had my headphones off, so I wouldn't have heard a noise.
Well, fair enough.
I'm just the dumbest boy alive, baby.
Well, yeah. So all I'm going to say to you, Willie, is that I cannot wait for those DMs when you get to certain points that you haven't seen yet, because they're coming.
Oh, dude, I am still... the moment I even roll up to the paintress, so I've got shit to say about that. Also, I only just realized how huge the paintress actually is when I got close to her and could see her on the overworld map. Like, it's ridiculous.
That's something I really liked about this game, is that at almost all times, that paintress tower is somewhere in the background, and you can see her looming. Yeah, you
can see the 33.
And the 33 off in the distance, and just this looming doom of this giant woman. But yeah, when you get up close to her, when you're going up to fight her and you're walking up to her feet, you're going to be like, God damn, that's a huge bitch.
I have a friend who likes huge feet. I might give them to him.
Oh, yeah, Minoko?
Yeah, Minoko.
Yeah, Minoko, right? Yeah. You couldn't possibly be talking
Minoko.
about Minoko.
My Noko.
My Minoko.
Number 95, take it to the garbage place, electric light.
You took it a different route, but I'll go with it. So let's do final.
What the fuck was that even song I just did? It was a Rob Zombie song.
Yeah, it was Edge's theme song there for a little while. Never gonna
Never
stop.
Gonna Stop.
Me.
Yeah. Robert Zombert.
Robert Zombert. Personally, on that album, I felt that "Feel So Numb" was a better song, but Edge made the other one more popular. So
And no offense taken. Feel So Numb is also an excellent
Would you
song.
say it was more edgy?
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean that line made me think of that Ailstorm song. Fuck you, you're a fucking wanker. We're gonna punch you right in your balls. Yes, but let's do final thoughts and some ratings, and then we'll do Willie's next pick and some house cleaning. Get you to plug your stuff, and we'll get up on out of here. So, final thoughts.
I'm going to do something the show has never done before. I'm going to commit a mathematical sin and give this game a score that is impossible. I give it 33 expeditions divided by 0.
So you give it a 0?
No, I give it infinity.
Well, anything divided by 0 is 0. Or is
No,
it?
anything multiplied by 0 is 0.
Yeah.
Anything divided by 0 is infinite and uncountable and unthinkable and violates the laws of physics and math.
I don't know. I'm just a lowly prep cook, so I don't do. I
I'm
don't
just a
do
little
math.
guy. They don't ask me to divide by 0.
My buddy Wes used to sell weed, and he would say something really smart that was right, and someone should listen to him, and he'd go, what do I know? I'm just a dope man.
Nice.
But okay, you give that. You any final? Well, you don't. I guess you wouldn't really have final thoughts yet.
No, I don't have final thoughts because I haven't met finality yet. I still have a lot of story left to be told to me.
Yeah.
So Fenny, spoiler-free final thoughts and then a rating.
Well, as stated at the top of the episode, I walked into this game blind and not knowing what to expect. I got my ass kicked by the combat until I learned how to, handle it. And then, I started recognizing this game for how beautiful and truly amazing it is. So I'm going to give it, I don't even know, 9 miles out of 10 verses.
All right. So the music, the graphics, the story. I opened this episode with a saying in French, which I butchered then, and I'm going to butcher again right now. Clair Obscur, Marie chaque putain de prix qu'il a reçu, I believe. I probably butchered that even worse now because I didn't listen to it first. But that is a rough translation of Clair Obscur deserves every fucking award it received.
Oh, wow, you said putain even though we've been saying putain this often?
I know.
Like, you must know that word by now.
Putain de Merde.
Putain de Merde!
But I did say putain. That's what I said. Like, I probably fucked it up even harder this time. But yeah, Clair Obscur deserves every fucking award it received. This game is incredible.
So you see now why I chose it, right? Yeah, because you were making fun of how many awards it was winning. So I was like, I'm gonna fix that shit.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, well, you fucking proved it. You proved us wrong because now we're gonna have a fucking difficult time with the Steamy Awards this year.
There's a lot of birds I've eaten, but I will admit that this time I am eating crow because I did laugh at how many awards it got, and we kind of picked on it during the Steamy Awards, and yeah.
It did. We're not the only ones that did a meme of that, by the way. Like, I was watching the Drawfee Awards, where the YouTube channel Drawfee, views all their videos and says who, which one got the most views, which one had the most subscribers gained, lost, etc. And Jacob suggested he was considering just putting Expedition 33 as the winner of every award.
Because it almost was.
Might as well have been.
I don't mean this as like an over-exaggeration. This is one of the best stories I've ever experienced. Not just in gaming, just like in general. This story is fucking incredible. I am all in on whatever this studio does.
Sandrock, I believe, or Roxanne, something like that.
I think it was Sandrock Interactive, I believe.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that
Sandhill.
this was their first. I want to say this was their first. Their first major release.
Sandfall Interactive.
Sandfall, thank you.
Yeah, it's their first fucking game. And I know that sets the bar high, but dude, there's so many places that they could go. Like, they could do any type of
No,
game.
let's just say it then. Let's just come out and say it. This game won every award basically last year, and the reason is because it isn't just hype. It is genuinely that good and deserves the attention of anyone listening to us right now.
Yeah.
Like, go play that game,
And,
like, have fun.
and the
with
crazy
it. You will
thing
enjoy
is
it. The
between
music, the art is beautiful.
between this and Baldur's Gate 3, I mean, little companies are showing that, like, AAA dev companies, like, they're getting it wrong.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Yeah, these guys are the model for how games should be made. As a storytelling game, this is what Square Enix should be doing right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And it just gives me hope for the future because, you know, it's not every year that we get games like this, and we've gotten Baldur's Gate 3 and this relatively close to one another. So I look forward to more what these guys do. I'm just going to say that again. I'm going to give this 11 SKs out of 10 Francois.
Oh, shit. I think that's the first, like, overcapped rating that has been given on this podcast.
I think it might be, dude. This is like legitimately one of my favorite games now. So like, I appreciate you making me play it. Like, this was an incredible story. I am just like floored, but to the point that like, I almost told my dad, like, I'm going to replay this game and you're going to sit here and fucking watch me play it. And we're going to experience this story together. Cause I feel like he would really enjoy it. Like almost to the fact that I wish I could give this to him in book form and be like, just read this. You will really enjoy this.
This game is transcendent. It was nominated for 1 million awards. It won 1 million awards. And the only flaw is that they didn't have enough awards to give this game.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Like, I haven't even finished the tale itself. I'm only talking about the aesthetic and the story so far and the gameplay so far.
Oh.
I haven't seen the end of the story, and yet that is how highly I consider this.
I need you to keep me in the loop on your progression in this game because you are speaking so highly of it. I cannot wait for you to get to other things.
It will take me a little time because I am playing on the hardest difficulty, so it does take me a few fights to get through boss fights and stuff, but I'll get there. And
for sure.
When I do, I'll feel like it mattered. Like, me and the expedition overcame something.
That's a really sweet
Also,
way of thinking about it.
I love that when you get a party counter, it says Expedition 33 counters the attack.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, you're like, you are Expedition 33. I mean, because obviously most of them are dead, but that is Expedition 33 doing something. Like, it's a note in the journal almost.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool.
For sure.
It's the little things like that really pop out and make this game stand out.
100.
It just does so many little things so beautifully.
Yeah, that is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and that means that Willie, it is your pick next, my good sir. What do you got in the pipeline?
Well, I wanted to get back into the boomer shooter genre, and we played and enjoyed the shit out of Dusk, which was a great, and so I want to give another game from the New Blood pipeline. This one I did talk about on the show when I was playing it, but I am going to start over and play it through again, and that is Amid Evil.
Amid Evil. I've heard the name, but that's all. So I'm very intrigued.
It's very, like, the graphic style is almost inherits from Heretic more than Doom. Like, it uses magical weaponry and stuff. And I think you'll have a good time with it.
Yeah, dude, I'm into it. And, you know, for my Discord pals, you know, if you want to check it out, I have my ways. Hit me up. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Like, I'm down for another shooter and something that's going to be kind of mindless in a way while I'm still digesting this story.
This one's not gonna chew a bunch of your brain up. It's like 7 episodes, each of which is 4 levels. Like, it is digestible and bite-sized, and you can just play an episode and then go do something else, you know?
Point, shoot, kill bad guy.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, Amid Evil, we'll be back in 2 weeks for that, and that means it's house cleaning time. So, Fenny, go ahead and plug your stuff before I get into my bullshit, sir.
That's me. I'm Fenris Spain. You can find me on all the platforms. What is it? Steam, GOG, Epic, EA. I'm Fenris Spain everywhere. Infinite Backlog, Final Fantasy 14. I'm on Gilgamesh. Come say hi. I co-host a podcast with Adam You can find him at Spectre Approved pretty much everywhere on Infinite Backlog. That's where where he handles all the social media stuff and lets everyone know what we're doing and when we're doing it. And you should come listen to our podcast. We are two gamers who talk about our backlog of RPGs. We just did a 3-part episode on Baldur's Gate 3, and our next episode is going to be on Legend of Dragoon. So, yeah come give us a listen.
Ooh.
Hell yeah, I look forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward.
It's a fantastic
Very
game.
intrigued. Like, I remember, even at the time, I found Legend of Dragoon's translation to be a little bit bad, so I'm wondering how it holds up today.
We actually played the Severed Chains version, which is the it's like a fan remake.
Okay.
So they fixed some of the
That
translations.
actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And it was a blast. They added a whole bunch of quality of life stuff and just made the game even more enjoyable. Like, you can save anywhere and stuff like that. It just, really fantastic.
Those sound like good additions.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Oh, pun. I caught that.
Well, thank you all for listening. And here is... Let's roll through the house cleaning, man, and then get up out of here because your boy got to visit the throne room. So, if you would please leave us a review wherever you get your podcast. It helps us out in the algorithm, helps people find the show over on iTunes or Spotify. Scroll down a little bit because there it is. If you want to check out the website, bit.ly/The Steam Machine Podcast. But if you want to check out the cool link, that is patreon.com/The Steam Machine Podcast. If you donate $1 or more a month, you get the episodes early, ad-free, and the Patreon banter in the beginning. That is just for the Patreon sections on each and every episode. And if you do $10 or more a month, you get that plus your name read on each and every single episode, like these wonderful people. Nate Sir Cogsworth, the 7th of Juniper, Jeff the Original Expendable, Mr. Syllables, Old Jeffy Lube, also He's a Duck, the man who erased his nickname, now the Wolverine, formerly known as Logan Jareed, aka Little Omaniac, Eraser Adam, shout out to his podcast, Spectre Approved, Team Red Choke, check him out over on YouTube, Mr. Puzzles, Dane himself, Flying Brian, Dorian Gray, and Fenris, the healer from the Owls of Bama. Thank you all very, very much. You're very much appreciated. And shout out to Spectre Approved. Go listen to those guys. They are great. Go listen to Dane and Jeff's Media Dump, where you can find Dane, Jeff, and moi talking about random movies. Slight spoiler for you, Fenris, because I know you haven't gotten to it yet, but at the end of the a Serbian film episode, which, not to give anything away, but do take note of the date that episode came out. At the very end of it, you will find my announcement for my next movie, which is based on a game that we played recently for this show. We are going all the way back to 1995, gentlemen, and we are going to be watching Mortal Kombat this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
So, at some point, we will be watching Mortal Kombat in the Discord, bit.ly/TSMP Discord, all capital letters. Come in, join in on the shenanigans. We do movies every other weekend. You get wrestling in there sometimes. We watch pay-per-views for the wrestling stuff in there together. It's a good time. Plus, there's just like a lot of video gaming talk, and we have a great fucking community in there. We really do. A lot of lurkers, and they're all wonderful too. Each and every one of you that's in the Discord. We love you all. tsmpproductions.threadless.com. Pick you up a shirt. There are new designs out with the new Steamy logo and all of that. Go check those out. NileTheNightmare.bandcamp.com. Check out my music, and that's about it. We'll be back in 2 weeks to chat about some Amid Evil. And until then, everybody, take it easy.
Bye.
Now let's just paint some happy little trees.